The heart of your teams. The heart of Atlanta. Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
11 Braves wins in a row has turned the baseball world upside down. Atlanta's Department of Energy has opened the gate to its superhero powers, sweeping Colorado, Oakland, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ian Anderson leads this Hellfire club into D.C. with Mad Max in the hopper. The Braves go for 12 in a row. Stranger things have happened, and it's here on Valley Sports. World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. For the first time this year, we join you from our nation's capital at Nationals Park for our second series with the rebuilding Washington Nationals. Atlanta has enjoyed playing here. They've won 8 straight games on the Nationals home turf. And oh, by the way, the Braves go for a 12-game winning streak tonight. Chip Caray, Brian Jordan, Paul Berg, great to have you with us. Atlanta BJ just wrapped up a perfect 6-0 homestand. Now the challenge, a 6-game road trip starting tonight at Nationals Park.
You know, you're playing a division. It's never going to be easy. Josiah Gray is on the mound tonight, but the Braves have been playing great baseball. It doesn't matter who they play. If you're under 500, the Braves own you. And look at this. They got the Washington Nats and Chicago Cubs coming up. These are teams I expect to beat, but it starts with game 1. You got to get through tonight.
And Josiah Gray on the mound for the Washington Nationals, Birdie. Ian Anderson for the Braves. Like this Atlanta team, looks like the Atlanta right-hander's coming on.
No, I'm excited to see him pitch. Saw him earlier out in flip-flops by the dugout. He was calm, cool, and relaxed. And what can I say? The man likes to stay at hotels. Check out the numbers on the road. 3.60 ERA. As you can see, that includes the hitter-friendly Coors Field in Colorado. Changeup, high fastball, curveball. Let's keep the line moving. You got a great defense. You got a great offense. You got everybody clicking behind you, including that bullpen. So I'm just going to throw strikes and let everybody else do the rest.
Ian's faced the Nationals 1 time, 7 innings, 1 hit, shutout baseball. Will take more of the same as he and the Braves go for a dirty dozen. Yeah, let's get 12 wins in a row tonight. We start game 1 of the road trip with the first of 3 against the Nationals. We'll have lineups, first pitch, and Kelly Crow when we come right back. Well, we told you summer has arrived, so has the heat and humidity. Moments ago, it started sprinkling here at Nationals Park. And with that in mind, the grounds crew has brought out the tarp to cover the infield. Josiah Gray was warming up, making his way toward the mound to get ready for the start. Looks out and says, whoa, wait a minute, what? Tarp's out? We're not going to start on time. And according to a couple of weather sites, it says it's going to storm here for about an hour and 45 minutes. Real heavy stuff supposed to come down in about 45 minutes or so. So wisely, the grounds crew did get the tarp on. It is raining pretty heavily now. You couldn't start or play in conditions like this. So for the moment, we are in our first weather delay of the 2022 season here in Washington as the Braves and Nationals look to start the first of this 3-game series. What do they say, guys? Sometimes the only thing that can stop a hot team is Mother Nature, and
exactly.
Maybe she's trying to cool off the Braves here before game 1.
That's exactly right. Trying to cool off the bats of the Braves, who've been hot over the last couple of weeks. So hopefully this rain will stop very soon and we get back to starting this game. Paul, man.
No, it's going to be interesting with the pitching because you, as a starting pitcher, have your routine. You get set up. So seeing Josiah Gray walk out and turn around in frustration, I understand that. So we'll hope that Ian Anderson and others will be ready to go whenever that is. And guys, there's a stationary bike in that locker room for a reason.
And maybe we can find one for the booth. Lord knows we could all use it. It's raining here at Nationals Park. We're at a weather delay. We'll take a break and come back and update you right after this. We welcome you back to Nationals Park. There's a sight to behold. The tarp has been pulled. The rain has stopped, and we're just about set for game 1. During the rain delay, there was a major change. Josiah Gray was supposed to start this game for the Washington Nationals. He's been scratched after an hour and 20-minute delay at the start of the game, fellas. So Erasmo Ramirez who's making his first big league start since 2018, is on the mound in a spot start for the Nationals, who are now without Gray, and they had to place Steven Strasburg back on the injured list today. So we don't know what the state of the Nationals pitching staff is in as we start this series, and perhaps that's even better news for the streaking Braves who've won 11 in a row.
No, you're right. This is going to be interesting because Erasmo Ramirez is a reliever. He is able to throw more than one inning, but this could be kind of like an opener, and this is a Johnny Holstaff bullpen game. So it's very important you have guys on your team that can throw multiple innings. Here's another reason why.
So Ronald Acuna Jr. is back in the lineup for the Braves. He is scorching hot for Atlanta, playing every day in the outfield, getting it done. BJ out of the leadoff spot. As you know, he's in scoring position when he steps in the batter's box.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, this kid, ever since he came back, you knew he wasn't 100%, but now you look at him playing every day, starting to hit for power. Look at those numbers, 344, 5 home runs. And, man, he hasn't slowed down yet, guys. When he gets on first base, he is looking to steal every time. The boost that he gave to this team when he returned to this lineup has been incredible.
And he destroys the Nationals in this ballpark. Hopefully he'll do some early destruction tonight, as once again Ronald's atop the Toyota starting lineup for Brian Snitker, whose Braves have won 11 in a row. They've outscored their opponents by 44 runs in that stretch, and they've shaved 5 games off the Mets' lead in the National League East. The only other change is Travis d'Arnaud will get the start in Game 1 behind the plate for Atlanta. And so after an hour and 30-minute plus rain delay, at long last we will have baseball in our nation's capital as the Braves face Washington on their home turf for the first time here in 2022. There's so many things to talk about with this pitching change as the Braves take aim here in the first inning. We'll get to that after Ramirez gets his night underway. And the first pitch is scorched into left field, a leadoff single for Ronald. My question, Brian, was what effect does this late change have on your starting line? If you're preparing for Gray, you get Ramirez. Looks like it didn't bother Ronald at all.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, this offense is always prepared. I mean, Kevin Seitzer will have these guys ready to go. I don't care what last-minute changes have happened. You got the scouting reports, you got the analytics right in front of you. And while those guys were thinking about playing cards, I bet you Kevin Seitzer was saying on this change what to expect from this guy, and Ronald getting it started.
So he's aboard to start the game. Dansby Swanson also a great homestand at the plate. He's batting second, a .417 average on the homestand with a home run. He jumps on the first pitch and cracks it towards center. Lane Thomas going back to the warning track into the triangle, makes the play. Ronald tags up and he'll advance on a deep fly to center. So the Braves very aggressive early on in the ball game, trying to punish Ramirez. Have a man in scoring position, fellas, with one out as we check out our Ford Keys.
Well, the Ford Keys guys push the envelope offensively. We've been doing a great job doing the little things, moving guys over, getting them in, scoring with runners in scoring position. Keep that foot on the gas pedal. And offensively, you got to get ahead of these hitters. Ian Anderson, throw strike one, and you'll have a chance to win this ball game.
Ronald needs a better jeweler. The chain broke again.
Oh, my. Great base running by Ronald Acuna there, reading that ball all the way to the wall and being aggressive. Ouch.
Austin Riley got hit in the side, maybe the chest with that pitched ball. He tried to get out of the way, and that baseball kept hunting him in the right-hand batter's box. And so first and second for the Braves with one out. Riley trots painfully to first.
This is a situation where you're also making a statement, Chip. I'm not saying he tried to hit him on purpose, but the first pitch he threw left the infield over 100 miles an hour. The second one went 396 feet out to center field. So now you're like, are these guys digging in and swinging? I got to move some feet, possibly.
That was a nasty sinker, had a lot of run. No way you're getting out of the way of that pitch.
A rib burger at 92 miles an hour for Riley, who leads at first. And the first pitch popped up by Matt Olson. Well, the Braves are hacking away early in the count here, and Matt is retired. That's the second out on the infield fly.
I like the aggressive attitude. You know, first pitch, be swinging.
Did you give a speech in that locker room? I know you like the first pitch.
Yeah, but 4 batters, 4 pitches. This is a guy you want to get out of the game, make him work.
Yeah, but you can't lose that aggressiveness, and it's been working for the Braves lately. Swinging early in the count. 4 home runs on Sunday, 3 of them on first pitch.
Well, it's not stopping here with this guy walking up.
Yeah, he's ready to come out of his shoes. As Ozzie Albies is the batter. Ozzie 2 homers, 8 RBIs in his last 6 games. The Braves made a lot of 2-out hay at home. Let's see what they do here. Fouled away. Strike 1 for the Braves second baseman. Braves have seen Erasmo Ramirez before. He's 2-0 against us, 5 games, 4 starts. He's pitched with the Mariners, the Rays, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Tigers, and got a minor league invite to spring training with Washington, and now here he is with Josiah Gray scratched after a long rain delay. Pitch. He is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Paul, what does that do? You pull your starter, and like say for a guy like Erasmo, what's going through his mind? He's sitting in the clubhouse, just relaxing, and all of a sudden, you're the starter today.
Yeah, you're generally okay as a reliever versus the starter. Here's the problem, BJ. It depends on when you eat. Because if you're a reliever, you want to get a late meal because you may be pitching the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th inning. So if you get a big meal in you, ready for that, and all of a sudden says, hey, you're in the game. I just had a big burger, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, he's ready for a nap if that's the case, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, man.
So that's the only way it can kind of throw you off as a reliever, because you have your routine as well, and you're like, hey, I'm ready for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th inning. That's my role. You weren't ready to start that night, so it could throw you off. It'll be interesting.
Ozzie down to his last strike. 1-2 the count. 2 aboard, 2 outs. First inning. Pitch. He is way outside. Keibert Ruiz, a young catcher, made a nice stop. And it's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We are told that the Nationals' long relievers both worked yesterday. Don't know if either one of those pitchers would be available in Game 1 tonight. The Braves might be catching Washington at a real good time. Don't know who's going to start tomorrow. Don't know who's going to start for them on Wednesday. And don't know how long Erasmo Ramirez can go in this game as he faces his 5th hitter in the first inning, having thrown 8 pitches with 2 on and 2 out. And Ozzie swings and misses, and Ramirez does a magical job to escape first inning trouble. Ian Anderson goes to work. No score after a half inning. It's turned into a lovely night on the banks of the Anacostia River here in Washington, D.C. The Braves had a chance to score in the first, couldn't come through. Now they face Davey Martinez and the 23-39 Nationals, who are already 17 games out of first place. Their Toyota starting lineup features Lane Thomas, a former Cardinal. You know all about Soto, Cruz, and Bell. That trio's gotten hot. That's going to be a danger zone for Ian Anderson and the Braves staff in this series. That's the trio you don't want to beat you. And Paul, as you said a moment ago, Ian's really coming into his own. A terrific month of June. We hope that continues in Game 1 tonight.
Yeah, I need you to throw the ERA out with Ian. And, you know, it's a young man who's 24 years old, who's a World Series champion, who's a big game starter, who's very, very good. So I'm not really worried about that. Pitches well on the road. And the key, as we've talked about earlier, don't take anything for granted.
Don't take this guy for granted. The Lane train, as they call him, 15 for 39 since June 1st. Coming up, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. This guy is on fire.
And he can fly. Don't want to walk him. As Anderson's first is a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Lane Thomas came over from the Cardinals for John Lester last year. And Thomas has outplayed Victor Robles. That's why he gets the starting assignments in center. Love to see Ian getting that pitch. Down and away strike. 1-1 for Lane Thomas. Cesar Hernandez will follow here in the first inning.
Ooh, get those pitches like those last 2, Chip. Be a long night for the Nats.
Well, it was the last time he faced them. September 12th in 2020. 7 innings, 1 hit, shutout ball. Against Washington, oddly enough, the Braves play in the same division as the Nationals. He's only faced them 1 time. He's not had the luck of the draw facing this Washington team much. Let's see how he fares tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Space is empty. And a little chopper is bounced foul toward the Braves dugout. Bertie, what are the cues for you to see that the rain delay didn't bother a starting pitcher in our case, Ian Anderson?
Well, I just want to see his fastball crisp. I want to see him locked in, hitting his spots. And, you know, usually it takes Ian an inning or 2 to settle in. So far, I know it's only 1 hitter, but he's been very good.
That's a good way to start. Swing and a miss takes care of Thomas. 1 up, 1 down. Cesar Hernandez coming up.
Watch the action on this changeup. It almost acts like a split. The bottom falls out of it at 89 miles an hour. I want to say this, guys. We're in Washington where it was very hot earlier. It rained, it's steamy, it's muggy, it's humid. Breaking balls and changeups with downward action are going to bite. That was nasty.
And there's Ian's arsenal. He's added a curveball and a sinker that he'll toss in every now and then. As Hernandez, a feeble swing, was fooled. Strike 1. We've seen Cesar a long time. He's been with the Phillies in our division, now with this young Nationals club. No homers, 15 RBIs at .270 average. And roll over that foul. It's 0-2.
They say he's been struggling from the left side, swinging much better from the right side. Hopefully that will continue today, because this nasty changeup is coming. 0-2 count.
On the ground, Olsen gets a hop he likes and an easy ground out. First of the night for Anderson. 2 up, 2 down, and now you enter into the hottest part of the Nationals lineup. You want to beat Washington, you got to find a way to control this guy, Juan Soto, who hasn't hit for a high average, but all of a sudden he's getting hot.
Yeah, last 4 games, 7 RBIs. This is a dangerous man at the plate. Look, with the struggles of this team, I think he's just trying to carry the weight of this team, and he's really frustrated, trying to do too much, taking too many close pitches also.
Well, he knows how to walk. Remember, Soto walked 145 times last year. He's on pace to fly by that this season. He's already walked 50 times and 42 strikeouts. But really strange to see Soto hitting .230. Anderson pitching him carefully. Got that one by him. Change up at 88. And that's the Soto stare. When you fool him, he lets a pitcher know that's not supposed to happen.
That's why I knew Ian Anderson's changeup was so good the first time he faced Soto and he struck him out. Soto took his helmet off, scratched his head, and walked back to the dugout. One of the best hitters in the league with one of the best eyes in the league, and was confused.
People don't like when he do that. I love it, man. He is just so locked in. It's almost like an intimidating factor to the pitcher. Paul, would you be scared of me if I did that to you?
Well,
you would come back with that same pitch right there.
Right there. I'm like, okay.
Take that.
You didn't hit a homer. You didn't walk. You just took a ball. And you're showboating the ball that you took on me. Calm down. That's what I would say.
Soto needs some more stickum. Ian Anderson will go to the rosin bag on a sticky night, if you will. He's got a 2-2 count on Soto, trying to work a 1-2-3 bottom half of the first inning. Soto spreads out that left-hand batter's box. The pitch is fouled at the plate. Had it by him, but that got a piece of d'Arnaud on the way back. He's trying to stay back, but hasn't timed it yet.
He has it.
I mentioned the weather. It's 83, feels like 88, and we got 70% humidity. If it stays like that, BJ, changeup's going to be diving all night.
Pitch number 15. It's bounced towards second. Ozzie double clutches, but makes the throw. And Anderson does have a perfect 1-2-3 first inning. We're underway in Washington. No score in game one. Watch baseball live or on demand on your favorite supported devices. Save 50% now through Father's Day. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for all the details. Braves country in full force in Washington tonight. No score, second inning. Travis d'Arnaud will lead off. And didn't get a breaking ball from Erasmo Ramirez, the quote emergency end quote starter for the Nationals tonight. d'Arnaud 6 homers, 24 driven in. And down and away. It's an even count. We'll see if the Braves' form for the catching situation holds. Snit has said he wants to play d'Arnaud 2 days in a row, Contreras 2 days in a row. That leads you to believe that Travis will be in there again tomorrow night for game 2. We'll see how it plays out. That ball hammered down the left field line. If he kept it fair, the Braves are going to have the lead. He did. d'Arnaud with a solo home run. It's 1-0. The 25th home run hit by the Braves during this 11-game-plus winning streak. And the Braves strike first, a leadoff homer, 1-0 in Washington.
You don't think d'Arnaud is looking at Contreras in the rearview mirror saying, I can do it too? I love the competition. I love the fact that you can turn on that nasty sinker in on your hands like d'Arnaud did. It is fun to watch these two guys.
I'm telling you, we got to get the catchers to work on the Carlton Fisk move.
Yeah.
Contreras didn't do it the other day. d'Arnaud tonight down the left field line. But the Braves strike first, and you know how well Atlanta plays when they score the first run. They're 23-4 on the year.
There he is. Telling him something right there, BJ. You were right.
Marcell Ozuna, the hitter. And this one on the ground and between the second baseman and shortstop, who were shifted, and Ozuna has a hit.
That's a good sign for Ozuna. I was talking to him in batting practice and throw your hips, get your hips back into it. Being aggressive, I like it. Getting those hips open, finding a hole.
Yep, Marcell, when we got on the plane, looked at me and just said, I was not good in this homestand. You know, he's ready to make up for that. And his night off to a good start. Here's Adam Duvall. Well, the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Braves yesterday put on a show. BJ, that was a lot of fun.
They sure did. And Duvall was very aggressive. Pulled one to left field and then hit one Oppo Taco, which tells me he's starting to feel it.
7, 8, 9 hitters yesterday, 5 for 10, 3 homers, 4 RBIs. And Adam Duvall, a 2-homer, 3 RBI game. Let's keep the good times going for the Braves left fielder here. Good guys strike first. It's 1-0. And in the dirt, it's 2-0.
How about this? First pitch he sees. See you later. That one to left field, and how about this one? This was the nice one here. Going Oppo Taco, keeping his hands in, but yet not losing that aggressiveness.
3 hits already for the Braves. 2-0 count for Adam. And that's taken a little high.
I kind of feel like with the addition to DH, you're going to be able to get all your hitters in there, but can't. You got Ozuna, you got Contreras, Duvall's getting hot. I guess it's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. You don't have enough spots for these guys. You got to wait your turn.
Adam made him throw a strike, and he did. And this year, 4 for 11 against the Nationals. He hit a home run. I recall that series in Atlanta was a strange one in mid-April. Braves scored 16 runs in the middle game of the series, then scored 3 total runs in games 1 and 3. So looking for a little payback as they try to win their 9th straight game in this ballpark, and they're off to a good start. Homer, single, walk, and Michael Harris is coming up.
This is where, as a pitcher, you don't get a break on facing the Atlanta Braves. You have such a deep lineup. The 9th hitter could be the hottest hitter.
And I'm guessing here, Bertie, this has got to be a scouting report for Jim Hickey for Erasmo Ramirez, who probably didn't count on seeing Michael Harris in this game tonight. But here he is in a 2-on, 1-in, nobody out spot where he might need a little help to figure out how to get Michael out.
So you got it. Supposedly coming in from the pen, asked to start at the last minute, and they just want to make sure that they have everything going. You're also giving him a little break, making sure his arm's okay.
I think it's also coordinating the infield on, hey, Michael Harris has a lot of speed. Watch out for a bunt. This is what we do in this situation. Making sure everybody's ready in there.
You bunting this guy?
No, because he has too much speed to double him up anyway.
I agree.
I'd like to see Michael hit the ball the other way. They give him almost the entire left side of the infield to play with. As Braves runners lead at first and second, Harris riding a 5-game hitting streak. Second one of those he's had as a big league player. And downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
I think that's a mistake the way the infield's shaded, because in the minor leagues his power is to left center. Not that he can't pull the ball and go deep. He does it in batting practice, but during the games he's hit the ball up the middle and the other way.
Hands low for Harris. That's a swing adjustment. The pitch. And a chopper hit toward Bell at first. He'll have only 1 play. Productive out for Michael. That's as good as a bunt. And runners second and third with 1 out. And Acuna's coming up.
Doing the little things. We always talk about that, getting the job done, and that's exactly what Michael Harris did, looking to pull the ball to move these guys up second and third. Ronald Acuna is going to feast in this situation if they don't intentionally walk him here, which I doubt this early in the game.
The first 4 Braves hitters of the game had their at-bats resolved on 1 pitch. Ronald swung at the first one and hit a bullet between short and second. So he's 1 for 1.
The infield's moving in, Chip.
Have fun with that.
Well, first pitch should be a breaking ball because he crushed a fastball. So we'll see if Acuna is looking slider here. If he gets that hanger, look out, BJ.
And remember, Ronald was not active for the Braves when they saw the Nationals in April back in Atlanta. He's enjoyed his night so far tonight. And that's in for a strike.
There was slider, but it wasn't the hanger. Good take.
And he missed the spot big time.
Ronald has 16 career homers against the Nationals in 46 games. Lifetime .286 hitter against them. At Nationals Park. Can't believe that this is true. Does Ronald Acuna have 791 at bats at Nationals Park? That's what the Braves notes say.
No, I don't think so.
I think that's a misprint. So we'll work on finding out that number for you. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that almost hit him inside. 2-1. But the point being, Braves lost a series with Washington without Ronald. They got him back. That's a nice ace in the hole to have going head to head with these guys for the second time. And an early home run from d'Arnaud puts the Braves in front here in the second. Acuna, the 5th batter in the inning. Ramirez ready. Here she comes. And he was fooled. 2-2. base hit the other way would score you 2. Let's see what Ronald does with 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 aboard. And the pitch. Struck him out. Acuna's down on strikes. Ozzie struck out in the first inning with 2 aboard. Acuna the same here in the second, but Dansby Swanson, who has really flourished hitting second in this Atlanta lineup, as he's gone, the Braves offense is gone. That's our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
Wow. Ever since this guy started getting it going the other way, he has been unstoppable. 380 average in 17 games. He's been doing it all.
Dansby's hitting well over 400 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this year. Talk about clutch. That's exactly what he has been doing. And as we said on the homestand, the Braves did such good work with 2 out, 2 strike scoring chances. Can't let too many of these slip away. Braves had first and second in the first. They've got second and third in the second after the d'Arnaud home run. Sharply hit and through, a base hit. Dansby comes through. That'll score 2, and the Braves lead 3-0. Dansby does it again.
Wow, just a good piece of hitting. That ball was away. He didn't try to roll over. He tried to go up the middle, exactly what he did. This is why he's been so good with 2 outs.
Cutter outside part of the plate, as you said, went with it straight up the middle. Ball had enough behind it to get through.
And the thing that I love about it is he's not trying to swing for the home run there. He's just trying to find the hole, put the ball in play. That's how you win ball games.
So Austin Riley hits 3 in the second inning. Riley hit by a pitch his first time and takes downstairs ball 1. Nothing better than 2 out run scoring hits. And boy, add on runs. That's.
You look at this 11-game winning streak. That's what they've been doing so good. And 2 out hitting, driving in runs.
Swing and a high fly ball to left. Yadiel Hernandez going back at the edge of the track. He'll haul that in. And that retires the Braves. A productive second inning. A leadoff home run from Travis d'Arnaud, his 7th of the year. Dansby Swanson also with a 2-run hit. And after 1.5, the Braves off to a great start. Here we go. It's 3-0 Atlanta. It's Pup in the Park night tonight at Nationals Park. There's a good-looking hound. That dog looks like a Braves fan, too. Don't you think? Braves off to a great start, leading 3-0. Ian Anderson, a 1-2-3 first inning. Now he'll face Nelly Cruz, Josh Bell, and Keibert Ruiz in the Washington second.
Nelson Cruz is heating up. 21 games since May 20th. He's hitting .419.
He's done a nice job with his timing. He said that was off. Now he's trying to hit the ball to right center, and Braves are aware, so they're shaded in that direction.
And they brought him in to try to give Soto some protection in the lineup, right, Brian? I mean,
yes.
You can't just have Soto by himself any more than you could have just Ronald Acuna Jr. by himself, as talented as they are.
No question about it. You got to have somebody to have your back so that you can see some good pitches.
Over the last 3 weeks, he certainly has seen some.
Which is a lot of pressure, by the way. Hitting behind Mark McGwire, Chipper Jones, you know you have to perform, or those guys are going to get walked almost every time.
Strike 3, froze him inside corner. Cruz thought that was too far inside, but Adam Beck rings him up, and Ian Anderson has 2 strikeouts in the game.
And I really think now that Nelson and Josh Bell are starting to swing a hot bat, we'll see Soto get hot very soon, hopefully when we're out of town.
Nelson was right on that pitch. It missed on the inside corner, but we're not going to tell anyone.
Nope.
You don't see front door changeups very often. It's a hard pitch to adjust to.
This is Josh Bell, the first baseman, former Pirate. 15 RBIs, 9 runs scored in his last 20 games. This will be a good challenge for the Braves. This man tough to strike out. And he won't this time. He's going to roll to first. Olson feeds Anderson. Nicely done. That's 3 ground ball outs and 2 strikeouts so far. 2 away.
Ian Anderson is on top of his game right out of the gate.
Yeah, I kind of believe what you're saying. That humidity is dropping that changeup big time.
Well, he's throwing strikes. He's getting ahead, so you have to swing at it. And he does such a good job of getting out left-handers, and their best 2 hitters on the team, in my opinion, are left-handed, and he neutralizes them in Soto and Bell.
This is Keibert Ruiz, switch hitting catcher. Good numbers offensively. Learning this staff on the fly. And a rope into straightaway center, right over the top of the mound. And Ruiz didn't want to get to 2 strikes, and that's the first Nationals hit.
Fastball down Broadway. Be ready to duck.
Got that pitch up in the zone.
I said Broadway, Chip. I should have said Peachtree. I'm sorry.
Either way, that's fine. That's fine.
But that's what you have to do off of Ian. You got to jump on that first pitch. Fastball. Don't let him get to the changeup.
You talk about that a lot, and I know people have asked me about that. And it's like people have said, does BJ just want everybody coming out of the gate swinging? But you don't mean at everything. You just mean in a small zone.
In the zone.
Yadiel Hernandez skies one to left. That ball's carrying toward the wall. And just in front, Adam Duvall is there. Now the Nationals getting after it early in the count, but nothing doing for them. 3-0 Braves after 2. Well, we told you the Braves bats were booming all homestand long, all during this 11-game win streak. That was a big one for the Braves. It gave them a 2-run lead for Matt Olson individually. A milestone, number 150 as a Major League player. So Kelly, nice way for Matt to end the homestand, and maybe he can start the road trip the same way tonight.
If you saw where that ball landed, it was right there in the Braves bullpen, and Eddie Perez was actually back there and knew that was a big home run for Matt Olson. So he saved the baseball, and later after the game walked up to Matt and was like, hey, you want the baseball? And Matt's like, no, I don't think so. Do I? Why? And Eddie just kind of chuckled and walked away, and Matt said it took someone else letting him know that was his 150th career home run. So of course, Eddie kind of playing a trick on him, said he didn't keep it, but, you know, he did. And now Matt said he's got it in his locker right next to his first Braves home run. So until he finds a place in his house for those 2, he's got those 2 special baseballs in his locker back in Atlanta, guys.
Great report, Kelly. Thank you very much. And BJ, he's gaining on you.
He sure is, and I like Matt. I mean, he's so humble, and it kind of reminds me of me. I didn't, you know, when I hit my 150th, I didn't care. I didn't think anything of it, man. But he has a whole lot of more home runs than him.
You know you're never living that down.
That was so good.
Oh.
Matt's 34 home runs behind Brian Jordan now.
Yeah, he's going to definitely pass me up.
184 of them. The very humble Brian Jordan, we might add.
If he stay healthy, he could be definitely a guy that can hit over 400 home runs in his career.
Well, I think he's going to like hitting at Truist Park consistently, more so than he had to hit in Oakland. That's a big ballpark. You guys played their pitch there.
Yeah.
That's a tough place to hit it out.
Well, not only is it big as far as the outfield, but you got a ton of foul territory, and that equates to a lot of outs when you foul a ball off that normally would go in the crowd. There, it's an out.
2-2 pitch. And Matt swings and misses. He's down on strikes. 1 away. That's 3 punch outs for Ramirez. And Ozzie Albies will be the hitter.
Good changeup right there from Ramirez. When you come in and you have to cover multiple innings, whether you're a starter or a reliever, and it's always true of a starter, you have to have multiple pitches. You have to have cutter, curve, slider, and change, something just different to mix it up. So Ramirez did a nice job right there, going back to the change. Doesn't throw that to righties, only lefties.
Good to see Ozzie get off the home run schneid, as it were, including a big grand slam back in Atlanta. His bat's starting to come to life.
It's fun watching those guys in batting practice. Acuna, Albies, Ozuna. That group, they swing for the fences. And they talk so much trash. It's just fun to watch, man.
That's bounced foul past Eric Young. It's an even count for Ozzie. Yeah, I will say this team is remarkably consistent. Let's be honest, the first 2 months were a struggle for the Braves. They were trying to find their footing, getting Ronald back, and new faces. But the attitude and the camaraderie, as Brian said, never has wavered. This team has incredible belief in itself. And look, it's easy to say they're a great team when you win 11 in a row. I think the measure of how good and how tight Brian Snitker's crew has been is when things weren't going well.
Yeah.
That man right there is talking to Kenley Jansen, and he was talking about different teams, and he said Brian does such a good job of allowing people to be themselves. So there's many different cultures in that locker room, different personalities, and he's been really impressed at how Snit allows each person to be themselves, creates an atmosphere where it's very fun to come to the park, and you start winning, and having fun, and talking trash. And
yeah, I mean, he allows you to be you, but he trusts you. You know, and he's so patient with these guys. That's what I love about him, where guys are struggling, people are ready to get rid of them, sit them on the bench, but he sticks with them because he trusts them. And now look at it. These guys continue to play hard, and now they're relaxed, and they found their timing, they found their groove, and the 11 straight wins, living proof.
Full count for Ozzie, and that's off the plate, ball 4. I think to illustrate that point or to expand on it, Brian, that's where the player development experience of Brian Snitker, I think, plays such a huge role at the major league level. You made a great point. We live in an instant information, instant reaction world now.
Right.
Whereas if you're managing in Sumter, South Carolina, or Greenville, or Gwinnett, you got to be patient with your players. And the same is true at the major league level, even with players of great experience like Travis d'Arnaud, for example. And Snit does that as well as anybody, as did Bobby Cox. Well, you know who's watching tonight. Skipper, hope you're doing great. No, he's loving the score so far, 3-0 Braves. The parade started with this man, Travis d'Arnaud, homering to left field.
he can go for 2. I like, too, that Snit is not a different person through this win streak. He hasn't changed. He's not going to panic when they were struggling early, and now he's not going to be over celebratory in that locker room and rah-rah and this and that. He's the same no matter what. So when your captain is the head of the ship and doesn't panic, keeps you grounded during the win streaks, doesn't panic in the losses, that's the guy you want with young players especially.
Yeah. Especially through the struggling times. You know, he was patient with these guys to the point where you get Acuna back every day in right field. You were patient with Dansby when he was struggling. And now you don't know who to play because everybody's playing great.
That's a good problem to
Yeah,
have,
it is. It is. I mean, you're trying to get Contreras in. Heredia, when he plays lately, he's been great.
Arcia as well.
Arcia.
0-2 for the Braves catcher. Ozzie, a good lead at first, not going. And this one hit in the air toward right and right at Soto. He'll back up a step or two and put that away with a hop. There's the second out. And Marcell Ozuna will be the Braves hitter. Marcell singled and scored ahead of Dansby's 2-run, 2-out second inning single. The Braves got all 3 of their runs in the second.
Here's another guy who talks a lot during batting practice, a lot of trash, and yet is extremely humble, like Brian Jordan.
Shorter lead at first for Ozzie here. The pitch. Swing and a high fly ball belted That one's going to go a long way out of here. A 2-run homer for Ozuna, and the Braves are on their way. It is 5-0.
He's back. He's getting those hips through again. Good to see him get that first single. Feeling comfortable. Man, he did not miss that pitch, Paul.
So break out the Shakira. The hips don't lie, right, BJ?
The hips don't lie.
2 homers for Atlanta. 5-0 in the 3rd inning. More 2-out offense. 4 of the Braves' runs have come with 2 down.
Breaking ball spinner back up over the middle, not on the inside, and Ozuna gets full extension, knows it right away.
That's how you hit a baseball.
11th home run, 25 ribbies for Ozuna. He's halfway toward the cycle. And Adam Duvall walked and scored his first time up. And so for Washington, Ramirez still in the game. He almost has to be in the game. He's got to act as his own middle relief pitcher. They are woefully short in the arms race tonight, with Josiah Gray being scratched after an hour and 25-minute or so delayed start. Don't know if Gray will get the ball tomorrow. Steven Strasburg was originally slated to start tomorrow's game, but the Nationals right-hander has to once again go back on the injured list. So to say their starting pitching staff is in a state of flux is a gross understatement. So take advantage, keep the good times rolling. Braves punishing the Nats 5-0.
Man, I know Ramirez wanted the ball. You always do when you're in the big leagues. You want to pitch, but he's probably saying right now, you guys give me the ball against someone else. This emergency start has been a tough one.
And nobody's warming up down there in the bullpen.
2 balls and a strike. Another bullet. This one off the bat of Duvall. That's headed for left center. That one's headed for the bullpen and gone. Braves go back-to-back again. Ozuna and Duvall. It's 6-0. Yesterday it was Contreras and Duvall.
Duvall is finding his groove. Hitting 2 home runs Sunday, come back tonight. Look at this pitch down in the zone, going away from him.
It's a great pitch.
But that's just the power that he possesses when he's aggressive.
That's what made Duvall such a great hitter last year, I thought, guys. He hit the low pitch as well as anybody in our league.
And that's a pitch he's been struggling with all year. Last year he crushed off-speed pitches. This year he's really struggled with that pitch.
Adam was quoted in a story where he said he was really way too concerned about launch angle. He was trying to lift the ball out of the ballpark. He's changed his stance. He's tried to hit more line drives, and with his raw power, if he hits it squarely, guys, it's going to go.
That's exactly right. Rapsodo in his practice session showed his launch angle 27 degrees, and he changed that to try to go back to hit line drives, and BJ, you see the result.
Michael Harris skies one out of play off to the left. 6-0 Braves on 6 hits. Atlanta's hit 3 homers in the first 3 innings. 5 of the 6 runs have come with 2 outs. Love, love, love that.
Wow, look at that whole left side wide open. Just half swing. Then you got a pitcher throwing away right there. I just don't get that.
If you throw away, it should be soft because you're hoping for the rollover.
And Harris swings and misses, and that will retire the side. 3 runs in the second, 3 runs here in the third. For the second straight game, the booming Braves bats go back-to-back. Marcell Ozuna ambushes for a 2-run homer. Adam Duvall a solo shot. It's 6-0 as the Braves look to win 12 in a row. Adam Duvall and the Braves bats have 3 home runs tonight. Duvall, Ozuna, and d'Arnaud get it done. Ian Anderson has a 6-0 lead. He'll face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Nationals. Starting with Maikel Franco, the former Philly. One thing about Ian Anderson, sometimes it's not just how you pitch, but when you pitch. Did you know that Ian Anderson has the 3rd highest run support per game pitched in the major leagues? He's been getting over 6 runs of offensive support per game. He's got 6 innings tonight after 6 runs tonight, I beg your pardon, after 2.5 innings. What did Jack Morris say, Bertie? Never lost with 10. And right now, he's got a lot of latitude. Franco at 262. Their team leader in doubles as that's taken a little low. There is action now beginning in the Washington bullpen as Erasmo Ramirez went 3 innings tonight. That's smoked toward left, and that's going to get down and bounce off the wall. Franco around first on his way to second. Here comes the throw, and they're going to get him. He never got to the bag. Franco wants to have it checked. Ozzie Albies dived and tagged him on the chest. Call on the field is out. Great throw from Duvall to make it close. And Maikel Franco is out number 1.
Duvall barehanded. What a play. What a great throw. Little razzle dazzle at the bag. That's close.
Franco's walking off the field. And it looks like he got him on the left hand. And yeah, it's a single and a 7-4 put out for out number 1.
Great job by Adam Duvall playing that ball off the wall. I mean, he just, as soon as he hit it, he just ran back to the wall, gave in, didn't try to catch it, and a perfect throw to Ozzie Albies. We talk about this outfield, the defense improving. Michael Harris out in center field. Adam Duvall gives him a chance to save his legs out in left field. And boy, has it worked out well for the Braves.
Is there a better defensive starting 9 in the National League than what the Braves are sporting tonight?
No.
No way.
Another chance for Duvall in left to retreat, still going back and has room for Garcia's drive. Quickly to her out. I don't know what the metrics say. I will tell you the eye test tells me that the Braves are getting 2 balls better in the outfield. They're covering more ground in the outfield. The communication is certainly better. And we have no problems at all in the infield where you have Riley and Swanson, Albies, and Olson.
And Paul, I got to ask you, I mean, when you have that behind you as a pitcher, does that allow you to just pitch the contact?
Yes. And that was me. I wasn't a strikeout guy, so it was very important that I had a good defense. The park I pitched in, and then you start to factor in pitches that you would throw based on what you have, whether you want the ball on the ground, in the air, based on the hitter. Another important factor is that you have a catcher that can block so that you're comfortable throwing 0-2, 1-2 breaking balls, knowing that if it bounces, I have a catcher who's got my back, who can block. It's not going to go to the backstop.
1 ball, 1 strike for Lane Thomas, the leadoff man who struck out his first time up, and that was guided foul. That was close. Nice play by the ball girl down the right field line. And she'll make a friend. A Braves fan. Atta girl. And atta boy. Yeah. Braves fan said thank you. That kid obviously from Marietta. Very polite as Thomas digs back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Skipped up there. There's that block Paul was talking about. It's 2-2.
The fan wasn't able to get a ticket at the Braves game, so he had to travel out here to get a seat close to the field.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Braves had 35,000 plus at home last night. 41,000 against the Pirates on Saturday. Lighter crowd here in D.C. tonight as Thomas bangs that out of play foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And I mean that as a shout out to the Braves fans who have just come out in droves and been loud. And when you go on the road and you play at other places, and I know Washington isn't playing great baseball right now, but you really appreciate the Braves fans when you go elsewhere.
And they're here in force at Nationals Park. The pitch is out of play, right side, foul. We've got some great crowd mics and great field mics. You can hear the onomatopoeia sounding. Every crack of the bat, every pop of the baseball. And there's been a lot of onomatopoeia from the Braves tonight. 6 runs on 6 hits, 3 homers. Another 2-2 is up and away. Full count. The payoff, and he pulled that pitch outside. Lane Thomas, a fast runner, walks. That'll continue the inning. And he's aboard with 2 outs, and Cesar Hernandez the hitter. So before Hernandez stands in, let's step aside quickly for a message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
Ian Anderson, generally speaking, has been excellent in innings 1 through 5 for the Braves this year. See if he can make short work of Hernandez. Don't want to give the Nats any hope, especially with this part of the lineup coming up. You got some thunder, BJ.
Yes, you do.
Get this guy. Speaking of pop, Hernandez hasn't had any yet this year. No homers. And 15 ribbies. Always liked this guy. He's a good player. A couple years ago with the Phillies, remember, he was a hit machine.
Yeah, he's a scrappy player defensively also. He can make some defensive plays, and man, between him and Michael Franco, those 2 guys really play well against us.
And both former Phillies. Anderson straight over the top and right to Matt Olson, who makes a leaping grab, and that retires the side. Stick around, Braves country. It's 6-0. Guess who's coming to the plate? Ronald Acuna. Then it's Dansby Swanson and Austin Riley. Things looking great for the Braves in D.C. tonight.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. Georgia Natural Gas, live the greener life. And by Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners.
Well, Braves country, if you wondered if the Braves were ready to rock and roll on the road trip and keep their momentum going, I think the answer to that is yes. 6-0 after 3 innings. Erasmo Ramirez is finished for the night. Steve Cishek is on to pitch in his 27th game. This guy's been around seemingly forever. He broke in with the then Florida Marlins back in 2010, and now 36 years young, pitching for the Nationals and pitching well, a .370 earned run average. Might be Johnny Holstaff, as Birdie suggested. Cishek's averaging less than an inning per outing.
They need him for 2 tonight. 6'6". You mentioned 36 years old. Takes the hat off. Got a little salt and pepper under there. Chip Ivan introduced him from a Just for Men yet.
No balls in a strike. As that's outside. It's a shameless endorsement plug, isn't it?
Well, we can't all be Chip Carey.
Like I say, it may not be perfect, but at least it's mine. When it comes to the main, the 1-1 pitch, and Ronald backed away from that. 2 balls and a strike. Look, we know where the Washington Nationals are. They're 17 games out of first place. A lot of the players you're seeing on this field and on this roster are not going to be here in August. Cishek might be one of them because he can do that. That is a nasty pitch, especially to right-handed hitters, Brian.
He's the type of pitcher I hated to see. The one that drops down with that nasty slider, throws that sinker in hard. As we saw a foul ball by Acuna off the knuckles. Look at that ball just come back.
That's what's hard as a hitter when you get in there and one goes one direction and the other goes another direction, a foot the other way. It's hard to read which one it is coming in and make that split that second decision.
And I was always looking for that slider and get crushed by the sinker.
What a good at bat for Ronald. He's got a full count. Acuna has singled. He has struck out. In tonight's play, when your leadoff man's on for the third time and it's only the fourth inning, you're having a good night. And the Braves are doing that. The pitch. And fouled away to the right side.
Cishek is not done with his career, but after 13 years, ERA under 3 at a 2.88 is very good.
Wow, that is excellent.
So you're seeing why right here as you see Ronald Acuna trying to fight things off.
Strike three, a generous inside corner. Adam Beck is given the inside corner. Remember, Nelly Cruz struck out on a pitch that he thought was too tight as a right-hand hitter. And Acuna is struck out looking to start the Braves' fourth.
Slider that never came back.
Never came back. Come on, that is ball 4. Oh, that has to be frustrating. You think you know the strike zone, and we saw it on Nelly, though, so you can't complain.
Well, you
Calling
can.
it both ways.
You can, but it's not going to do you any good, right? As Dansby moves out of the way, a 2-run single for Swanson in the second inning. This was close.
Tried to do it again, spin a slider, and missed by a foot and a half. Good athletic ability by Swanson getting out of the way.
No shift for Dansby at the plate. That's way outside. Ball 2. Chance for the Braves to pick up another half game in this divisional race. The Mets are idle tonight. The Braves start play 5.5 games behind New York. Remarkably, the Braves have shaved 5 games off the division lead. This one into the glove of Hernandez, and Bell turned around and the ball was already in his glove. Hernandez didn't waste any time getting rid of that. So Josh Bell, you better be ready. That almost fooled him. He said, hey, what's up? Give me time to get to the bag. 2 out.
He said he forgot he was in the shift. Had a long run over the first base, Bell did.
Swanson was getting down the line, too.
Austin Riley, the hitter, he's been plunked. He's also flied out to left. Just joining us, you're wondering, hey guys, why are you only in the 4th inning? It's closing in on 10 o'clock Eastern time. We had about an hour and a half minute long rain delay before first pitch. And Riley gets hit again with a breaking ball. He's going to take first on a hit batsman for the 2nd time in the game. No intent, obviously, but that's still going to hurt a little bit, frustrate you.
This is called flying open for a pitcher. You look at Cishek's left shoulder that leaks early. His arm never has time to catch up, so his body is not synced up right now. You either fix that by trying to throw the balls to the other side of the plate or staying closed with that left shoulder.
Matt Olson 0 for 2. He's popped up. He's struck out. See if he can keep the 4th inning alive for the Braves, who lead 6-0. And a swing and a miss. 24 doubles for Olson. That's more than any other National League player. As we showed you, that milestone homer yesterday was number 150. It came at a very important time for the Braves. Nursing a 1-run lead against the Pirates. That made it a 2-run bulge, and then Kenley Jansen came in and shut the door.
This is where you see your best hitter gets hit before you want to make this pitcher pay right here. Matt Olson. I know gotta have that chip on your shoulder to protect your own teammate here by driving one over the wall.
I like that.
Yeah. That's how you get them back, Paul.
Swing and a shot hammered to center, but Thomas is there and he makes the shoulder high catch. And that retires the side. Matt hit that on the screws. The Braves are popping the Nationals 6-0 mid-4th. Ian Anderson's first start against the Nationals, 7 innings, 1 hit. Tonight, 3 innings, 2 hits. And Ian Anderson is our player comparison, brought to you by Landmark. What a difference, Bertie, a month makes.
No, you got it. Throw out the ERA. Look at that. Batting average, balls in play, bottom right number 438. That's the highest in MLB, which means if you put the ball in play against Ian Anderson, that's your batting average over the long term, and that is very high. But when you look at exit velo, which is down in the month of June than it is for May at 88.6 miles an hour, it tells you that guys are not hitting the ball hard. So he's just had a little bit of bad luck at times, and nothing to worry about, because if you're a pitcher and they don't hit the ball hard, that number will correct itself.
Part of the order for the Nationals here in the 4th inning. Soto, Cruz, and Bell, their 3 best and hottest hitters, face Ian for the 2nd time. Anderson got him with 2 groundouts and a strikeout the first go-round in the 1st and 2nd innings. That's up and away for Soto. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a wild card question. Is this guy going to finish his career in Washington?
Well, according to Rizzo, he's not going to trade him. So he's going to have to play out at least 6 years, I believe.
Soto just moved up in the box. Did you see that, Brian?
I did. Looking for that changeup, that nasty changeup, trying to catch it up. Yep.
Love this game right here, this chess match.
Braves shift with 2 strikes. Soto in the back of the box now. And takes downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was a really good pitch right there. 94 down. I like that, because most of the time when he throws his changeup, it's down. And when he throws the fastball, it's high. So if you continue to do that over and over again, hitters are going to sit one location and one pitch. He just threw 94 down at the knees. That's the setup. That will set up the changeup.
That's lifted down the left field line and foul, out of play.
And it did.
That's a happy fan. He's from Arlington, Virginia. You can just tell. Came
Really
away with
happy.
that souvenir, yeah. Pretty part of the world. Who wouldn't be happy in Arlington? The pitch. And Soto spit on that high. It's full count. This guy is one of the most animated hitters in the batter's box. He is.
Yes, he is.
Entertaining.
Bouncing around that box like our humble broadcaster, Brian Jordan.
I never jump around in the box, no.
Full count. The pitch. And he lost him. Soto walks for the 51st time this year. And Ian Anderson will go to work against Nelly Cruz, who took a generous strike 3 call to start the 2nd inning. Nelson Cruz, the ageless wonder. 7-time All-Star. 454 lifetime home runs. And hitting .419 in the last 3 weeks.
Question is, do you think he's going to make the Hall of Fame? 454 home runs.
I don't know. If you ask Fred McGriff, so you need to at least get to 500, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point, Paul.
1 ball, no strikes. There's a change. It's in to even the count. Yeah, I think, in my humble opinion, that some of the standards for the Hall of Fame are going to have to change, just because the game is played so differently now. I don't know if we're going to see 3,000 strikeouts anytime soon.
Right.
300 wins, certainly. 300 innings in a season, probably never again. And with the launch angle emphasis, I'm not saying it's meaningless, but is 400 or 500 or 600 home runs what it was 20, 30 years ago from your standpoint?
It's a great point. The game has changed. Baseballs have changed.
That's another Excellent point. Pitch, swing and a miss. Nelson Cruz blown away with fastballs. Ian Anderson punches his ticket. That's strikeout number 3, 1 aboard.
Good four-seam fastball, behind the head release point, gets on you quick. Low spin rate that plays up on effective velocity because he reaches out. Top 5 in the league at extension, so that ball gets on you.
Here's Bell.
Chip, to get back to that conversation,
Yeah.
you know, will we see another Ozzie Smith go in the Hall of Fame? You know, because you can almost say Andrew Jones is a hitting Ozzie Smith. Defensively, he was one of the best defenders in the game.
But see, I think, and this is an area where the game has changed for the better, I think that players today have a much better way of being evaluated because of the defensive metrics that didn't exist when you guys played. You knew with Ozzie Smith with the eye test, look, if you can't tell who the greatest players are in the game,
right,
you probably shouldn't be in it. But defensively, I think it's going to help them. But my beef with the Hall of Fame is real simple. If you're going to keep guys out because of perceived character issues, how can a guy with the character of Dale Murphy be excluded?
Right. Yep.
And his numbers are tremendous, back-to-back MVPs, and as you guys know, Murph was the face of the face of Major League Baseball in the 80s. But it's going to be interesting to see, and as more and more younger writers get involved in the game, there are more and more younger players who are much more adept at the advanced metrics than others. Maybe the path will be easier, not harder, even if the numbers aren't what we customarily have come to appreciate as Hall of Fame worthy.
It's really hard to compare a guy
yeah,
in 2022 to a guy in 1950 to a guy in 1923 to even the 70s.
I couldn't agree more with that. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Josh Bell. Soto still at first with 1 out. The pitch. I would venture a guess to say that it was easier for Babe Ruth to hit 714 home runs than it was for Hank Aaron to hit his. And other sluggers who are in the 500, 600 home run club, especially with the specialization of bullpens now. Think about how many times Babe Ruth saw the same pitcher. Not to mention, the color barrier hadn't been broken.
Right.
There were, what, 8 teams in each league. Didn't have interleague play. Cross-country travel meant going from New York to St. Louis to see the Browns. That was it. So I agree with you, Bertie. Comparing eras is really, really tough. As Bell now a full count, the pitch, and chopped off the plate.
You talked about the color barrier being broken. You know who I would have loved to have seen play is Satchel Paige.
Yes. He was a trash talker, and he could tell you what's coming, and you still couldn't hit it. That's how good he was.
No strange things for the Braves tonight. 6-0. 3 homers. Pitch. And Bell takes downstairs. Told you he's a tough man to strike out. Ian got him to 2 strikes, but a couple of walks in this inning now. And Keibert Ruiz, who greeted Ian with a line drive up the middle with the first pitch he saw, will hit with 2 men aboard.
Maybe a visit here. Nope, they're not going to do it. I asked Travis d'Arnaud to describe Ian Anderson in 1 sentence, and he said, never gives in. And I was like, God, what a great way to describe him, because it doesn't matter the score. He is going to fight. He is going to walk people. At times he's going to throw too many pitches, more than what he would want, but he knows himself, and you're right, he's never going to give in.
Double play ball gets him out of this 4th inning. Ruiz is a catcher. Switch hits, batting lefty. The pitch. Line caught, and no play. Braves had the shift on. Dansby in the right place, right time. And the ball was knuckling. He was fortunate to catch that. That could have hit him right in the chest. And Ruiz has seen 2 pitches. He's 1 for 2.
I mean, he almost hit that in the exact same spot as his first at bat.
And he almost had Bell at first base. He wanted to throw it, but he couldn't.
Well, Bell did a great job of watching Matt and stand in front of him. So that would have been a tough throw by Dansby. Smart decision by not throwing that ball.
So 2 outs, 2 aboard. Yadiel Hernandez flied to deep left in the Nationals' second inning. And a strike. If memory serves, Yadiel Hernandez made his major league debut against the Braves a couple of years ago. Native of Cuba. Good left-handed bat. He might attract some suitors at the deadline. As Anderson goes to work and misses down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he's a guy that didn't get to the majors until he was 32 years old.
The Braves have out hit the Nationals 6-2. They lead 6-0. We're in the 4th inning. Anderson piling up some pitches in this frame. And a base hit up the middle is going to score Juan Soto. Chugging for third is Bell. The Nationals cash in one of those walks. An RBI hit for Yadiel Hernandez. It's now a 6-1 game with runners first and third.
Fastball up, hits his spot. As you said, BJ. Got to the big leagues when he was 32, a little veteran experience. Out of Cuba. They like fastballs over there.
Get the ball up in the zone and make you pay.
So be careful here with Michael Franco. He smoked a ball to left. And was thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double. Adam Duvall with a great throw to erase him. Franco, the Nationals team leader in doubles. And that's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Come on, Ian. You got a 6-1 lead. Let him put it in play.
Haven't seen many curveballs from Ian tonight.
This is a guy you don't want to make a mistake to.
Fly ball hit toward left. Duvall says he's got it, and Anderson is out of the 4th inning. The Nationals get 2 walks and an RBI hit from Yadiel Hernandez. We're through 4.
We head to the 5th, 6-1 Braves over the Nats. Ozzie Albies leading things off this inning, and he's our Georgia Natural Gas impact player for the impact he has here at Nationals Park. In 33 games here, he's batting .336 with 7 home runs, 18 RBI, current 8-game hitting streak here. And it was a rather humorous and such an Ozzie response when I asked him, you know, what is it about this park that you like? Why are you hitting so well here? And he kind of said, I didn't even know, guys. I didn't even know. I had no idea, and I have no explanation for it. But, BJ, I thought you'd appreciate this. He did say, for some reason, I always remember the fields that I don't like playing at or the guys I don't like facing. But I guess if it's going well, I just keep doing it.
Another humble guy. Who cares about numbers? Just go out there and play. Come on, Paul.
Man.
You remember every good park, bad park?
I mean, I'm a pitcher, so of course, yeah, I know where I don't want to pitch and where I hadn't done well and who hits me. And I don't know that I'm 100% buying that, Kelly. I don't know. I'm thinking if you like the backdrop and like hitting at a park, you remember it. Maybe not.
No, you're right. I remember some of those bad parks I didn't like Montreal.
You didn't like hitting in Montreal?
Tampa.
Well, Tampa, I guess.
Terrible
Catwalks.
backdrops, yeah.
Ozzie had the green light, 3-0 with a 6-1 lead. We're in the 5th inning tonight. And fouled back and out of play.
Saying baseball to hit, can't think too much. So maybe he's see ball, hit ball, and maybe he's not overthinking it.
That's
Adam
right.
Duvall talking to me earlier saying he can really get in his head and think about everything. Think too much.
Look at that defensive swing, and Ozzie tripped and fell. Is he all right? The throw's going to go to first base, and Ozzie Albies is gingerly walking toward the Braves dugout. He just tried to punch and serve that ball to left, and as he moved out of the batter's box, he went down in a heap and slowly is going down the stairs and not putting a whole lot of weight on that left leg. That is not a good sight to see.
That's Snit telling someone to get going.
Probably Arcia.
Oh, you saw the back leg just kind of give as he had all the weight transfer on that awkward swing.
I sure hope he's okay.
Darno skies one toward right center. Lane Thomas going back to the warning track and up against the scoreboard. And that's out number 2. You saw Brian Snitker with his right hand kind of make a circling gesture as if to say to one of those bench players, start to ramp up, you're going in the game.
That's why it's so important to have good quality backup players on the bench. You mentioned Arcia. Shortstop.
That's not a good sign.
That does not look good. Hopping.
So Albies injures himself on a ground ball out to third. Marcell Ozuna is the hitter. That's the only thing the Braves don't want to see any more of, and that's injuries. They dealt with that all year last year. And you don't want to consider losing Ozzie Albies for any extended period of time. Something with his left leg bothering him here in the 5th.
I almost wonder if he rolled his ankle, twisting, trying to get out of that box.
It looked like, Paul, when he was going to the stairs, he was pointing at the outside of his left knee.
His knee, yeah.
I don't like that.
And that's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Ozuna, who's had a great night. He's singled and he's homered.
It's really good to see Ozuna get his home run strut back. He's been sitting on that 10th home run for a long time.
Well, he's got 11 and 25 ribbies. The pitch popped him up. Bell on the first base side of the pitcher's mound now moves behind it, makes the play, and that retires the side. We'll check on the status of Ozzie Albies as the Nationals come up in the 5th, down 6-1. (6-1) Braves. As we suspected, Orlando Arcia is going to check into the game and play second for Ozzie Albies, who left with injury after making contact in the top half of the 5th inning. Luis Garcia, the 9th place hitter, will start things off for Washington. Then Thomas and Cesar Hernandez. As soon as we get word from the Braves PR staff as to what's ailing Ozzie, we of course will pass that along, but watching him hop down the steps to head to the clubhouse is not altogether encouraging. And a cue shot foul by Garcia, who debuted a couple of years ago as the youngest player in the major leagues. 20 years old. He's 22, or about to be. And off to a good start, hitting .372.
Played some second base as well. Work in progress at short, learning at the big league level. This is a good team to do that with.
And he hammers that ball toward the right field corner. That kisses the chalk. Acuna over quickly. He'll have to go dig it out. Garcia's on his way to second. He'll stop there. And he's got a leadoff double. 16 hits for Garcia since June 1st. And the Nationals have a threat with the top of the order coming up in a 6-1 game.
Got that fastball up and in.
Don't like seeing the double, but I do like seeing Ronald's arm. It's a rocket. Everybody knows about in the league that doesn't let anybody round second to try to go to third.
So here's where you have to pay close attention to Ian Anderson. 3rd time through the order. has been problematic for him. He starts that with Lane Thomas, who has struck out and walked. Braves lead by 5. And a base hit past Arcia. Garcia will come home and score, and Lane Thomas makes it a 6-2 game.
So I had mentioned earlier that I think hitters are walking up to the plate and they're looking up for a fastball, or they're looking down for a changeup. This ball catches too much of the middle part of the plate. But if you're only going to throw 2 pitches and you're going to throw them primarily in the same locations each time you throw them, even though he's very good and he's very deceptive, if he does not use his curveball and give them different looks, it's going to be really tough for him third time through. I'd like to see more curves.
Look, sometimes you just got to tip your cap, because that was a nasty pitch, but Lane Thomas did a great job. He had a plan going up there, looking to hit the ball the other way, find a hole and drive them in.
So for Anderson, facing an opponent, first time through the order, 236, second time 176, third time a 389 opposing batting average, 21 hits, 59 plate appearances. And that's fouled away, even count, 1 ball 1 strike for Cesar Hernandez. Ian's got to get through 5 with this lead. It's now a 4-run advantage, and you've got the dangerous part of the order coming up. Dylan Lee starts to play catch.
Forgot to put his hat on.
Two balls and a strike. Our producer Gretchen Caney tells us, Bertie, they don't put the hats on right away because they got to get the pitch comm device.
You can't get anything past Gretchen.
Got to keep an eye on Lane Thomas, one of the fastest guys in the league. A risky play here to run down 4 runs, but hey, it's a lively park tonight. And all of a sudden, this game getting a little tighter than we'd like. 5th inning, 6-2. .75 pitches for the Braves right-hander, and a dangerous count. 3-1. Here it is. Got it by. Fastball with some movement. Full count. So let's see how Davey Martinez plays it here. He needs to stay out of the double play. He wants to bring Soto up with men aboard. Crowd quiet as Anderson has run it full. To the belt and the pitch. Fouled away. Ian ready. Runner leads the pitch. And it is smoked past Arcia. Can't get it. Thomas around second, on his way to third. And Soto will hit with runners aboard and nobody out. It's a 6-2 game. Well, you've got Lee ready in the bullpen. We've got Soto, Cruz, and the switch hitting Bell and Ruiz coming up. How much longer does Ian Anderson have? First, Rick Kranitz will trot out and try to give him a breather. 3 straight hits in the inning. Nobody out. And a quick message now from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Soto has 13 home runs. Of all of the hitters in their lineup, that is most on their team. He is 0 for 1 with a ground out, a walk, and a run scored. He has knocked in 7 runs in his last 4 games, and he's got a great chance to make things a little tighter here. First and third, nobody out, a run in the 5th.
According to a couple of Washington guys, they told me he's been struggling in this situation, runners in scoring position. Hopefully he'll continue that struggle.
Braves will trade a run for a double play if they can get it. As that miss downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
There's the curve. I like that look. Here's why I think, BJ, he's struggling in situations, why he has so many walks. On this team, if I'm pitching against you in a big situation and you come up, I'm going to pitch somebody else. I'm going to pitch around you. I'm going to try to make you chase my pitch. He's been frustrated all year. In this situation, though, you can't do that.
What would you guess Soto's hitting with runners in scoring position this year? First the pitch. Downstairs, ball 2.
On a normal
No,
year,
what's he hitting this year? What do you think he's hitting this year?
I'm saying maybe 220.
Birdie?
250.
125.
Well, the reports were right. He's struggling in this situation. Wow.
And 13 strikeouts. That's really uncharacteristic. 13 of his 48 at-bats with RISP have been strikeouts. This is a man with maybe the best eye in the National League. And he ends behind him, 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, coming into the game hitting 230, I thought he would at least be a little better with guys on.
Wow, you don't want to put him on and load the bases with a 6-2 lead. Nelson Cruz coming up.
Bring the tying run up to the plate, and that's what I'm talking about in this situation.
I mean, you got to take your chances and get Soto out.
Yeah, it's tough to pitch around him here.
Let's see if he has the green light. 3-0. Braves led 6-0. It's now 6-2. First and third, nobody out. The pitch. Not close. Bases are loaded. Nobody is out.
Wow.
And Nelly Cruz is coming up, and Ian Anderson is coming out. Ian lost it here in the 5th inning. Frankly, lost it in the 4th inning, too. A couple of walks led to a run, and he could not retire a hitter in the 5th inning after being staked to a 6-0 lead. So, the Braves bullpen, which has been spectacular in June, well, hopefully they will be in this spot. Bases loaded, nobody out. 6-2 your score.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Braves trying to get this road trip off to a great start. That's a capital idea. They lead 6-2. However, the Nationals have loaded the bases with nobody out in this 5th inning. And Dylan Lee is going to come on in maybe his biggest situation since coming up from Gwinnett. He will face Nelly Cruz, Josh Bell, and Keibert Ruiz.
You see the numbers. They don't get any better. It's a small sample size, but I like this young man. 2-seamer, 4-seamer, slider, change. Big task in front of him, BJ.
Yes, it is, facing Nelly Cruz.
Who is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Lee would love another one here. And the Braves have been able to throw fastballs by Nelly Cruz tonight. Strike 1. But he represents the tying run. Thomas, Hernandez, Soto, the Washington base runners. No balls and a strike. Didn't chase it. This month, the Braves bullpen 3-0, a 153 earned run average. But as we said, Lee facing a 7-time All-Star. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cruz open batting stance from the right side. Lee checks and delivers. Almost hit him. Ball 2.
Love a strikeout here. Double play. I'd love to see that. But it's a tough defensive alignment. A ball on the left side. Arcia's got an unusual path to the base to turn it. Not saying it can't happen.
About that pitch. Change up. Beautifully done. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Wow, that's a gutsy pitch right there with a 2-1 count.
As we said, the old automatic fastball in a hitter's count doesn't exist anymore.
With 2 strikes, Arcia scooted over. I like that.
The pitch. Line drive base hit. That's going to score 1 for sure. Washington plays it station to station. It's 6-3.
Chip, you said it. We've thrown fastballs by him tonight, and he was ready for it.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised you go 2-1 changeup and you don't come back with that same pitch to a fastball hitter.
Pretty good exit velocity right there for anyone, let alone someone in their 40s.
And now 2 switch hitters. Bell and Ruiz follow. Bases still loaded. 2 are in. Nobody's out. 6-3 game. All this mess belongs to Ian Anderson tonight. On the ground, Arcia will have to make a 360 spin and throw to first. That gets Bell. That's the first out, but another run scores. Bell tried to sneak one through the right side. Nice play by Arcia, who looked to second first. Didn't have a play there. And Bell out number 1, but picks up RBI number 38. Now 2 runners are in scoring position.
Here's a good play right here. Arcia sprinting to get that play. He looked at second and first, but was still able to focus and throw that Josh Bell out at first base. Great play.
That's what I was talking about with the defensive alignment being tough to turn a double play. As you could see, Dansby couldn't get there in time, and as you said, great play by Arcia.
Ruiz has hit a couple of rockets tonight. He just tried to untie his shoes and hit a home run. Strike 1. Ruiz singled in the second, lined out that knuckleball to Dansby Swanson in the 4th inning. And a very disappointed Ian Anderson looking on as he couldn't get through 5 innings tonight after getting a 6-0 lead. Good stop. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves are facing what's in reality a bullpen game for the Nationals, which adds an extra layer of difficulty for things offensively. As Washington now facing Dylan Lee with 2nd and 3rd, 1 out and 3 in. The pitch. Fly ball. Duvall coming on. He got a good jump. There's the catch. Runner's going to fake and not come home. Big 2nd out. No chance for Soto, and Duvall throws a strike. There's out number 2. Lee needed that.
Talk about that outfield defense. That's a great play by Duvall. Timed it up well. Body going forward. Perfect throw to home.
All of our outfielders can read the ball off the bat. Duvall, tops in the league at first step when he played center field. Does he have a cannon? Yes. The guys in center field, same tools. Best arm balls in right.
So it's lefty-lefty for Dylan Lee here as Yadiel Hernandez, the 8th man to hit in the inning. Hernandez singled in the 4th, and that scored a run. Upstairs, ball 1. Looking ahead to a happy 6th, Duvall, Harris, and Acuna are coming up for the Braves, who lead by 2, 6-4. The pitch. Good choice. 1 ball, 1 strike. Let's see how Hernandez fares against left-handed pitching for the Nationals. Pretty well, a .310 hitter. So this is a heck of a matchup with the lead on the line. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the ground, Olson is going to take it himself, and Dylan Lee a heck of a job. He came in bases loaded with nobody out. The Nationals settle for 3 and a 2-run deficit. We go to the 6th. Braves have the lead 6-4. We go to the 6th inning. Adam Duvall will get things started. Adam's had a great night tonight, and he is our Blue Moon bright spot. Look what he's done over the last 8 games for the Braves offense.
It is good to see that. When we talked about if he gets hot, he can carry the team. We saw it last year, and he is starting to heat up, guys. .357 batting average. I like what I see out of his swing.
All right, guys, so the Braves have given up 4 runs, but they still have the lead. Let's see if they can add on now. New pitcher on for the Nationals, Jordan Weems. Pride of Columbus, Georgia, and Columbus High School. So, you know, Weems is fired up to face what I'm sure was his favorite team as a kid, the Braves.
2-seam, 4-seamer, and a slider. Small sample size. Let's see what he can do.
Good night for Adam. He's walked, he's homered, he's scored twice.
BJ, Chip was talking earlier about him being conscious of line drives. He said it wasn't a mechanical adjustment, Adam Duvall. It was the thinking, trying to hit a line drive every pitch. Did it in the batting cage. Discovered the launch angle was high. He was popping everything up from the Rapsodo machine. But I said, did you change your hands? Did you change your elbow? This and that. And he said, no, I don't want to think too much. I just want to think line drive.
Yeah, see ball, hit ball, get on top of it instead of swinging under. He has the power to drive it out any parts of this ballpark. And like you said, he has to leave the thinking out of it.
So
the
my
mechanics out of it.
My question to you is, how do you get the results of a home run when you're trying to stay on top and get level and hit a line drive?
Well, that was the way we used to hit, because you get that backspin on the ball and it takes off. So you used to swing level and drive the ball. You know, now the analytics, you change the angle of your swing. You know, it's here nor there. At the end of the day, you hit line drives, those balls are going to go out.
Well, Weems didn't want to do that. His offense got his team back in the game, and he issues a 4-pitch walk to Adam Duvall as Michael Harris is going to stand in. Weems, an interesting story, was originally drafted as a catcher by the Red Sox. He was going to go to Georgia State, but signed with Boston. They converted him to the mound in 2016. So he and Kenley Jansen could talk about that.
Exactly, yeah.
And he gets ahead of Michael Harris, who is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. Michael has a 5-game hitting streak working. He'd like to extend it to 6 right here. Duvall at first, the pitch is low. More great talent from the state of Georgia in the major leagues.
Talked to scouts. It was like, it was always California, Texas, Florida. Now we got to put Georgia in that mix.
1 ball, 1 strike. Duvall a good lead. Not going. The pitch is upstairs. Ball 2. Wait him out. Get some guys on and let our thunderous bats go to work. Acuna is itching to pull the trigger on deck next. 6-4 Braves lead. This is a spot where you can watch or observe the game. The Braves guys are obviously observing this young man having trouble throwing strikes. He's thrown 8 pitches, only 1 of them in the zone, and that was the first to Harris in this sequence. But nothing wrong with that. 96.
3-1 count. You take your chances.
The pitch. Fouled straight back. Keibert Ruiz liked where that pitch was delivered, and a good job by Michael to fight it off.
Weems is not short on velocity, sitting at 97.
But I like that swing. Too close to take. Borderline high.
97, got away with one.
I would love to see this kid hit his first home run, get it out of the way so he can relax even more.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Ball carries here in the power alleys. Jet stream, 377 power alley to left. Shoots out to right as well.
Swing, fly ball hit towards Soto in right. And that's out number one. Duvall back to first. Now Weems will face Ronald Acuna Jr., who hopes to head to the All-Star game. It'll be in Los Angeles this year. Make sure Ronald and Ozzie go back. Send Austin Riley, Dansby Swanson, and your favorite Braves to Hollywood. Go to Braves.com and vote up to 5 times a day for the Atlanta Braves, representing the National League, and manager Brian Snitker. By virtue of winning the World Series, he'll be the skipper of the National League squad. Ronald tonight, a single in the first. He has struck out in his last 2 at-bats. Got to add on here. A little too close for comfort, as that's in for a strike. That'll work.
Ronald didn't see that very well.
No, I mean, Weems is starting to loosen up a little bit.
Maybe he was setting him up.
Popped up. That's headed over the Nationals dugout foul. Don't forget to stick around for Braves Live postgame presented by Xfinity. Hopefully it'll be after we celebrate win number 12 in a row. Braves off to a great start tonight, leading 6-4. They've hit 3 homers. 0-2 pitch from Weems. Here it is. It's breaking ball low. It's 1-2. He's not pitching like a catcher throws, is he? He's not starting that delivery from right behind the ear. You can see why he was converted. He's got a big arm. He's facing a man swinging a big bat, Ronald Acuna Jr. Who's facing the Nats for the first time here in 2022 tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff walk for Duvall. He stands at first with 1 out. On the ground foul at third. Good battle here with the Braves right fielder. Every passing pitch he gets a better look and feel for what Weems has and hasn't. Again, the 1-2 is high. That's one of those pitches that's so higher than high, it's almost non-competitive. Big league hitters generally not going to swing at that. As Dansby's lurking on deck.
But as Paul would say, it changed your eye level for this nasty curveball sliding down.
And Acuna covered that foul. Headed back our way.
Kid didn't get the memo.
Like Nuke LaLoosh, he wants to, what did Nuke say? I want to demonstrate my fastball with authority. He's doing that. Going at 98, 97 miles an hour. High pop fly toward right. And Soto is there, and that's out number 2. We have gotten news from the Braves Media Relations Department. Ozzie Albies left tonight's game with that awkward swing. He has fractured his right foot.
Wow, that's a blow. That's a huge blow.
And this was the swing. It was an awkward punch. And as Ozzie, left foot, as Ozzie made that plant, watch the left side buckle right there. And immediately he went down in a heap and had to be helped down the stairs into the Braves training room. So I'll say this, that is horrible news, quite obviously. But I'll also say that if there's any team that has experienced the ability to overcome injuries, it is the Atlanta Braves. But Ozzie Albies, a fractured foot, is out of this game. We'll hear more from Brian Snitker and Ozzie, I'm sure. Kelly's here. She'll be down in the Braves locker room getting post-game sound. So a horrible turn of events for the Braves in game 1. Ball gets away. Throw to second is late, and Duvall in scoring position. Backhand try, and Kabert couldn't come up with it.
Good job by Duvall reading this ball in the dirt, being very aggressive, taking off. And Ketchy has a really good arm.
Yes, he does. Well, you know how good Dansby's been with 2 outs. He was in the second, a 2-run scoring hit that made it 3-0 Braves. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's ahead in the count.
I like this count right here. Dansby, nobody better on a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Doesn't matter how hard it is. Maybe if Weems leaks a little bit, it'll venture in that area.
96 right there is usually pretty successful.
Yeah, that one's up.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to handle. But we've seen Dansby drive that ball to right center field over the wall.
Got to get it in where he can drop the head a little lower.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is high. Austin Riley's waiting on deck. Riley wants to hit the ball before it hits him. He's been plunked twice. There he stands in a 6-4 Braves game. We are in the 6th inning.
This could be a huge hit to add on runs. We've done that so successfully in this 11-game win streak.
The payoff pitch for the Braves shortstop. Here it is. Swing, fly ball, rifled center. Lane Thomas going back. It's gone. What a huge hit again for Swanson with 2 outs. Unreal. He's playing like an all-star. And the Braves have a 4-run cushion again. Man, oh man, was that ball creamed.
Wow, that was huge. Talk about jumping on a fastball, Dansby Swanson. He came back with that high fastball. Look at that, down in the zone, and went down and got it. Straight away center field.
Throw that head of the bat, BJ.
Man, getting it done. 4 RBIs on the day.
4 home runs on the day for the Braves offense, as Austin Riley pops one out of play foul. That guy has answered the bell so many times for the Braves. He had a slow offensive start. He's changed his approach. He's using the other way and the middle of the field. How many games has Dansby rescued the Braves offensively and defensively? I mean, guys, you talk about a guy doing everything on both sides of the ball. There's your guy.
One of the best players in the game right now for me because he plays both sides of the ball. Incredible defender, good hitter, good base runner, good leader. Cannot say enough about him and how much he cares, how competitive he is, how much he works on things and gets better. And yes, he had a really, really bad April, but you look at his numbers.
Yeah, bad April, half of May. But we always said he's a guy that could carry this team when he's on. And boy, last month he has turned it around.
And with Ozzie Albies out for the foreseeable future, he and the rest will have to continue to step up. That is a giant 2-out hit for the Braves, who have 8. 6 of the 8 runs by my count have come with 2 outs. 8-4 Atlanta, 4 homers in the game, and Weems working overtime. He's thrown 33 pitches now.
Porter, Duvall, Harris 8, Acuna 9, Swanson 6, Riley 5+. Really, really good stuff. And they're battling and scoring runs. Offense is good.
That was wrong. 7 of the 8 runs have come with 2 outs. As this one's whacked toward third. Franco, a nice play. Long throw, and that's in time to retire Austin Riley. 34 pitches for the kid out of Columbus, but the Braves shortstop Dansby Swanson. 4 RBIs tonight, all of them with 2 outs, and that homer puts momentum back in the Braves dugout. It's 8-4.
It's 8-4 Braves here in the 6th. Dylan Lee back out after helping the Braves limit the damage in the 5th. And this is a guy that Brian Snitker is starting to turn to in some big situations. He's gotten some big outs. And one of the things he really likes about him, guys, is how economical he is with his pitches. And there in the 5th inning, we saw 12 pitches, 8 for strikes. Allows him to cover multiple innings. And Bertie, I thought you'd like one of the things they asked Dylan Lee to do when he went back to Gwinnett, work on that slider. And we're seeing him execute that a lot more here. But really, it's the ability to cover multiple innings that Snit likes about this guy, and he's starting to feel comfortable, right? Understands now he can do this up here at this level, and I'm certainly watching him in the clubhouse, that confidence, seeing it grow.
Michael Franco pops one up left side. Austin Riley near the tarp, wishes it would come back, but it won't. And 2 quick strikes. And Kelly, that's a great point. And Bertie, you come into a bases loaded, nobody out situation, and you limit the damage to 2. That is unbelievably good work. And that's exactly what Dylan Lee just did for the Braves. And then the Swanson homer now gives him a 4-run lead again.
And there's no guarantee that if you go down and work on your slider, it's going to get better. So shout out to him.
Swing and a miss. Good start to the inning. Franco is down on strikes for the first time.
For figuring it out. And as a left-hander, getting a right-hander out on that breaking ball, that's important. BJ, we talk about hitters getting to the big leagues. You have to be able to hit a fastball. And then if you can do that, you have to be able to hit a breaking ball because they're going to start throwing you the wrinkles. Same thing for a pitcher. If you only have one pitch or a really good fastball and your breaking ball's just okay, then it's going to be hard to survive up here too. Why Dylan Lee went down and worked on that breaking ball, and it's significantly better. Another one.
And he is throwing it an awful lot, which means he has good command of it, and he's throwing it in any count also. Yep. That's what I like about it.
Luis Garcia, the hitter. Look at his happy feet. Didn't connect. It's 0-2. Well, as we said, we've talked a lot about the offensive barrage that the Braves have put on their opponents, dating back to our 4-game sweep against the Rockies. Certainly noteworthy. We've raved about the Braves' defense. It has been terrific. The starting pitching, generally speaking, has been really good. But you want to win big regular season games and in postseason, you got to have a good bullpen. And guys, this Braves bullpen I can't think of a time where they've pitched a whole lot better than what they're doing now. And he's a big part of that.
And it's amazing. You lose some of the night shift, and you still filling guys that's getting the job done. It's unbelievable.
Your numbers got better.
Yeah.
That's slashed down the left side and over the netting foul. Still 0-2.
And in today's game where a starter usually doesn't throw 7, 8, or 9 innings anymore, it's so important that you have a good bullpen. Guys that can cover multiple innings, guys that can give you different looks, have an uptick in stuff from your starters. Really nice, diverse bullpen with guys that can do many different things down there.
Lee ready with his 0-2 pitch to Garcia, and that's up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First final is in the National League. Phillies beat the Marlins. That was Sandy Alcantara and Aaron Nola. Great matchup at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies back in the win column. As a check swing, and he's rung up. Garcia with happy feet tried to check his swing, offered at that baseball, and Lee has out number 2.
That's a good sequence right there. He just threw a fastball away, changing the sights, and then he comes in. And Garcia didn't know what to do.
So back to the top, Lane Thomas. He has struck out, walked, singled home a run, and scored himself. Late night in Washington, but the Braves have an 8-4 lead as we move toward 11 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you for staying up late with us here on Bally Sports. At about an hour and a half rain delay before first pitch, which knocked Josiah Gray out of the starting assignment for Washington. The 0-1 count. Lane Thomas hits that a mile down the left field line, a line drive home run. Lane Thomas, 4 homers this month. He had 3 of them on June the 3rd. He just hit his 7th to make it an 8-5 game. That was a no-doubter.
This kid is pretty good right here. I mean, Cardinals, what are they thinking? Getting rid of this young man.
Crowded outfield, and they wanted John Lester for the stretch drive last year, and this was the price.
Slider down and in. Thomas drops the head, and the jet stream's supposed to be in the power alleys. That one got out really quick.
So a solo home run, and now Cesar Hernandez swings at the next one. Popped up center of the diamond. Matt Olson is there and makes the catch in the webbing, and that retires the side. We're through 6 in Washington. Braves enjoy an 8-5 lead, and Matt will lead off next. It's time for an Xfinity game break as we continue here in Washington. We told you the Marlins and Phillies tied 2-2. Rhys Hoskins with the game-winning walk-off hit. Matt Vierling comes home to score, and Rob Thompson and the Phillies just keep on winning, putting pressure on the Braves and Mets, who are ahead of them in the Eastern Division race. That's your final. 3-2 Philadelphia over the Fightin' Fish. Here it's 8-5 Braves. Matt Olson starts the 7th. Olson, Arcia, and Travis d'Arnaud. Just joining us to say this has been a news and noteworthy night is an understatement. Wouldn't you guys agree? Braves jumped out 6-0. A barrage of home runs in innings 2 and 3. Washington came roaring back to make it a 2-run game. Dansby's hit a 2-run 6th inning homer. Ian Anderson was great through 4, but started losing the magic and had to leave after 4 walks and 4 runs. But the big news is Ozzie Albies. A broken foot, or a fractured foot officially. And we'll learn more on Braves Live after the game. The pitch launched out of play, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's a huge loss of Albies, one of the leaders of this ball club. Guy that just leads by example. You know, he will be missed.
Two balls, two strikes. And that stays high from Weems, who threw a ton of pitches in the 6th inning. Leadoff walk and a 2-run homer. That's always a good recipe if you're the team hitting. He's about to make his 40th pitch. Chopped off the plate and tricky hop. Oh, Weems stayed with it. That had a lot of English on it. And Olson is retired for out number 1. That almost turned it into magic.
That ball had some spin on it. Look at that thing. Good concentration by Weems following that spin.
Well, he's picked up a few bunts as a position player as well. Nice read. Good athletic movements.
So Orlando Arcia, his first at bat of the game. He took over after Ozzie injured himself in the 5th inning. So it's a logical question. What do the Braves do going forward? Does Arcia get run at second base? Do the Braves dip down into their minor league system and bring somebody up? Do they sign somebody or make a deal? What do you think?
Yeah, well, all those are options, but here's the deal. Arcia is a great player. I mean, he's hit really well this year. He's done a great job. You can't see the field, but you would still have to call somebody up as a backup because what if he or Dansby or Riley gets hurt? So that will be interesting to see. Trade is always an option.
Well, if he does that, he's going to get first crack.
Well, that's what he does. I mean, he sits on the bench for 10 games and just put him in. He wants to play. And this is a guy that Alex did a great job bringing in a guy that can play everywhere. And we know with Milwaukee, he was a great infielder, getting it done. One of the best infielders they had. And he can do this very well. Hit the ball.
For me, he's one of the best bench players in the game. He should be a starter and would be in many places, and he's done that when he's come into the game and gotten his chance, and then he would sit for another 10 days.
And that's the downside of the DH in the National League. If you're a bench player, you've got a set lineup. You don't see the field too often.
Right.
But Orlando's made the most of those chances as he's at first for d'Arnaud, who's down a strike. d'Arnaud got the scoring parade started for the Braves with a leadoff homer in the 2nd inning. One of his 7 home runs on the year.
Look, you're not going to replace Ozzie Albies, but Arcia is a guy I think will hold his own at second base.
Yeah. You saw the play he made too. You don't lose anything defensively.
Ground ball hit towards short. Ought to be 2. And it is. And Weems and the Nationals are out of the 7th inning. Stick around. The stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas is coming up. There is plenty to talk about tonight. Braves lead 8-5 here in Game 1. It's Pup in the Park night here in Washington, where the Braves lead 8-5. That's our T-Mobile coverage cam. For the best coverage in the game, check out T-Mobile. Look at all the lovely canines here at Nationals Park.
I love when they have these games where the dogs can come in the park.
Now that's a dog. That dog's got the best seat in the house right there.
See that right there? I needed that after the Ozzie broken foot.
Needed a hug?
Dogs just always make me feel better, make me smile. Yeah.
You know what else makes me smile?
What's that?
Dylan Lee pitching like he's pitching tonight.
Doing well.
And he's out for a 3rd inning. And that stands to reason. You've got Soto, the left-hander, Cruz, then the switch hitters Bell and Ruiz coming up. Big inning. Braves lead by 3. Soto has walked twice, scored once, and grounded out. An excellent start. Strike 1.
Another good slider. Kelly did the report on that. Well, I'm not a doctor, but I've been in many a training room and physical therapy clinic. And the silver lining in this is that a broken foot is better than a torn ACL or ligament where you would be out for the year. I don't know Ozzie's timetable on his return, but I'm hopeful. Could have been worse.
1 ball, 1 strike for Soto. You got to throw this guy a strike. He does not expand his zone. Let's see if that sets up the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, if you look at his average, 13 home runs, 28 RBIs, the analytics would say he's having a really good year because of all the walks and getting on base that he's doing. But this is not a typical start for Soto.
Dillon's 2-1 pitch. Popped him up. That is pulled toward the seats, foul, and Lee back in the count, 2-2. Soto had 4 hits against the Braves back in Atlanta. One of them was a home run. As he digs in with the bases empty, nobody out. The pitch.
I'd rather you challenge him right here, Paul. No leadoff walks.
I agree.
Yeah, if he hits it out, you still lead by 2 runs. But it's the walk leading to the big inning, which is what happened to Ian Anderson in the 4th and the 5th.
Watch Soto squat down right here. A lot of bend in those legs. What does that do for a hitter, BJ? You know, you see Contreras has gone the other way where he's standing up tall, hands up high. What's the thinking on that when you squat down?
Well, everything is different for everybody. I mean, he hits from his legs. That's why he squats down, and he just does a great job of keeping that weight on that back leg when he swings.
Struck him out. Soto knew it. And Dylan Lee gets the all-important first man in the 7th inning. And Brian Snitker will go out and take the ball from Dylan and say, nice job. What a thrill to strike out Juan Soto. Some kind of pitch.
Talked about the slider. There it is, right down the middle to a great hitter who locked him up and knew it. Great job, Dylan Lee.
3 strikeouts in 2 1/3 innings. He's helped protect an 8-5 Atlanta lead. The World Champs Braves Baseball is presented by Truist. Kelly Kroll, Paul Bird, Brian Jordan, Chip Carey with you from Nationals Park. Atlanta leads game 1 8-5. Great job by Dylan Lee. 2 1/3 innings of 2-hit, 1-run ball. As Braves fans dancing in the aisles here at Nats Park, where the Bravos have won 8 consecutive games. Now Darren O'Day is on with the right-hand hitting Nelly Cruz. Switch hitting Josh Bell and Keibert Ruiz coming up. Darren's done good work. He's had his fastball the last couple of outings, Birdie.
Yeah, showing some life in that fastball lately. It's really jumped, I feel like.
And he's greeted rudely by Nelson Cruz. That shot into the left field corner. Cruz has 2 hits. That's his 9th double. Tell you what, the Nats aren't going away tonight. They are making it tough on Atlanta.
You are not going to fool a veteran with the breaking ball on the first pitch.
That's just amazing hitting. to drop that ball on the first pitch. There's no way you're looking for that pitch down in the zone like that.
But you've just seen so many.
Yeah.
I remember when I broke in and you face somebody like a Cal Ripken and you're like, oh, I'm going to trick him on this 0-0 breaker or this 2-1 slider. And they've seen so many, they're like, no.
And then you're backing up third base.
That's right. That's right.
So 1 on, 1 out. Josh Bell, the hitter, he grounded out and drove in a run. And that's taken high for the Nationals first baseman. 1 ball, no strikes. That's ripped foul. It's an even count.
Well, we talked about this before the game, man. It's no easy task in your division.
Nope.
As you just saw the Phillies walk off the Miami Marlins. Great game there. You know the Nationals are not going to roll over being behind 6-0.
That was low. It's 2-1.
Great job by d'Arnaud. Man.
Good presentation.
Yeah, I thought he tricked him right there for a strike.
Cruz at second with one out, and the 2-1 pitch. It's higher than high. 3 balls and a strike. Another base runner brings the tying run to the plate.
Forget about the velocity with O'Day. Gets guys out from the location, sidearm, and then that pitch right there that has the illusion of it rising, staying on the same plane up. Something that you rarely see. Hitters have trouble usually.
This hasn't gone well. A double and a walk from Darren O'Day, and Ruiz is the hitter. Does, however, set up a double play chance. Braves have been issuing a few too many walks tonight, 5 of them. Only 1 of them has scored. However, it's turned the lineup over to the top where the Nationals have done good work. 4 of their runs have come from their first 3 hitters in the game. Here's Ruiz. He has singled, lined out, and flied out. This is where Darren can use that turbo sinker. Get a rollover, get us out of the inning, and send us to the 8th. There's the grounder. Olson fires to second. 1, return to first, and O'Day got there. It wasn't pretty, but it was certainly effective. A 3-6-1 double play ends the Washington 7th. Darren O'Day all smiles as Atlanta goes to work offensively in the 8th with a 3-run lead.
And we're back with the Braves up 8-5. Got to go back to that last inning, the defense. We always talk about the defense getting it done. How about Matt Olson right here? Look how quick he gets rid of this ball. Dansby Swanson, Darren O'Day being an athlete right there.
That's what I'm talking about,
Oh,
BJ.
my goodness, Paul. You guys always talk about being athletes. Good concentration by Darren O'Day.
Look at him laugh as he rolls over. I mean, that's not John Smoltz in the stop, drop, and roll, but that's pretty darn close, isn't it?
Look at him cheering. He's saying, I'm not old.
That's pretty good stuff, keeping that right foot on the base, too. Contorted all sorts of different ways, but got the job done.
So that double play ends the Nationals 7th. Washington running out of outs. Kyle Finnegan is on. I like this guy. He's got a good arm. 25 games for Finnegan this year. This man made some Nationals history on May 5th last year. 3 batters, 9 pitches, 9 strikes, an immaculate inning. Don't want that. We'd like to see the Braves add on here with Ozuna, Duvall, and Harris. This dynamic duo starting the inning has had a great night. Ozuna and Duvall have reached base 5 times. 2 walks, 2 homers, a single, and they've scored a combined 5 runs.
Again, we saw it on Sunday. They're back into this lineup, getting it done again tonight.
Yeah, they were 5 for 10 against the Pirates yesterday. And here's the home runs for the Atlanta batsmen. Our StatCast 3D presented by Google Cloud.
Man.
Ozuna's telling everybody, get in the weight room, guys.
But Dansby, how about Dansby? 423, straight away center field. Went down and got it.
On the ground to short. And the peg to first is in plenty of time. That takes care of Ozuna for out number 1. Adam Duvall, the hitter, he scored 3 of the Braves' 8 runs. And with all these home runs, we're participating in the Home Run Challenge tonight. Every homer in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. So far, $190,000 has been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Adam Duvall had a good homestand. He scored 5 runs in the 6 games. He scored 3 runs tonight. And remember, he's hitting in the bottom of the lineup.
Not for long if he keeps hitting these home runs.
Good
I don't know, BJ. If I'm hot down there, don't move me.
Well, we've seen these guys get moved around all year long.
Very quiet crowd as the Braves lead late in game 1. 8-5 your score. And that went in to even up the count.
That's unusual right there. The front door slider that you throw at the hitter's hip. Finnegan throwing 99, 100 miles an hour. Primarily stays on the outside part of the plate with that fastball. It's unusual that you go there for a breaking ball and not the explosive fastball.
That's popped up over the Nationals dugout. That's headed for the seats. It's 1-2. As you saw on the Bally bar at the bottom of your screen, we'll have game 2 here tomorrow night. Braves live at 6:30. We know Max Fried's going to pitch. We have no idea who's going to pitch for the Nationals. And then Spencer Strider wraps up the series Wednesday night. That's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Steven Strasburg had to go to the IL again for Washington as he tries to come back from thoracic outlet syndrome. He felt discomfort throwing his side session. They're shutting him down again. And Josiah Gray scratched after an hour and 20 some odd minute rain delay before first pitch. The next, he's back to the screen, foul. 2-2. I was kind of surprised by that. If Ian Anderson could come out, I thought Gray might be able to as well, Bernie.
Well, I think Ian wasn't as far along in the process of getting ready for the game because we were visitors, and I think that's the right decision with a young 24-year-old prospect who's very good. Don't take any chances.
So how long would it be until he can come back? He didn't throw a pitch in competition. He just warmed up.
I would be shocked if he comes back tomorrow. I would think you'd need at least a day in between.
Duvall didn't get that. A swing and a miss. Turned by Finnegan, his first strikeout, and Michael Harris, the hitter, trying to extend his hitting streak to 6 games. Before he bats, here's a quick message from our friends at Landmark.
Take me out to the Giants. Take me out for a car. The Giant selection is something to see.
Is that a baritone in the back seat there? What kind of tone you coming in there with?
Tone deaf. Swing and a miss for Harris. It's 0-1. We appreciate Landmark and all of our great sponsors of Braves baseball here on Bally Sports. The others lucky not to have me singing.
I was wondering if Timothy Miller's in there singing. Do you just lip sync in the back?
Oh, no, I let it rip.
You let it go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's out of play foul. It's 0-2. I did that to make Timothy feel even better about, about his great singing.
Pretty strong resume right there. Sang backup for Timothy Miller.
I know.
Play guitar.
Not very well in either count, but that's okay. No balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty for Michael. They give him the third base line here. Nats will have the lower third of their order in the 8th coming up. The pitch. Starched his shirt inside. It's 1-2.
Needs a base hit to keep his streak alive.
Yeah.
5-game hitting streak.
His first action against the Nationals. The 1-2. Right off the end of the bat to stay alive. Another final in our league. The Cardinals subdued the Pirates 7-5, that game in St. Louis. Pittsburgh's now lost 7 straight. A late start at Wrigley Field. They had all kinds of bad weather in Chicago tonight. Tornadoes around the ballpark.
Wow.
They're in the 7th inning. We're in the 8th. The pitch. Fly ball headed for the gap in left center. At the track, at the wall. Leaping try. It's gone. There's the first big league home run for Michael Harris. An opposite field bullet into the Braves bullpen. Enjoy that, kid. You never forget your first.
Wow. Perfect landing, too, in the bullpen for your first home run. Well, your teammates down there are going to celebrate that one. I said he had to get it out of the way, guys, and he did it. Keeps the streak alive, Chip.
And no silent treatment. Come on, your first homer. Don't you get the silent treatment?
Wow.
First career home run, 6-game hitting streak, 4-run lead again.
And he went Oppo Taco, man. That is excellent.
Listen to all the Braves fans that are staying up late with us. He got a curtain call here in Washington.
That is terrific.
The Space Jam on. We need to wear that again tomorrow. I know Mom and Dad are proud. We've seen so much power from him in batting practice. Nice to see that happen in the game.
So the Braves tonight have hit 5 homers.
I mean, this pitch is way away off the plate. He got some great extension on that. And if you doubted his power, now you know.
Thought for a second that Lane Thomas either caught it or pinned it against the wall. But he kind of slunk back to the field after he made the leaping try at the wall, and that's when the celebration began. For Michael Harris, his first big league homer, 5 of them hit tonight by the Braves.
Look at that, Ozuna. Ozuna's showing him his video. This is what you did right, kid.
0-2 for Ronald tonight. He's 1 for 4. I can promise you this. I don't care what time we get back to the team hotel after the game. That video is going to be on Michael's cell phone, and he's going to watch it about 100 times before Mr. Sandman comes. And who can blame him?
You may be saying, hey, you got to take a little time on that home run trot. Stutter step around third. Give it a little clap. Enjoy it a little bit. Take it in.
No, not your first one, man. You run around those bases hard. You got to fly around the bases.
That one is a line drive to short, and that retires Ronald Acuna Jr. The Braves have hit 5 homers tonight, but the first in the budding big league career of Michael Harris goes the other way. Just out of reach of Lane Thomas at the 377 sign. Michael Harris has a big league homer, and the Braves have a big lead heading to the home 8th. Well, this is a night to remember, Braves country. Michael Harris hits his first major league homer, 1 of 5 for the Braves. Jesse Chavez tried to catch it in the bullpen like Tom House did on Hank Aaron's historic home run. He'll have a souvenir. He gets his first homer, his first curtain call. Travis d'Arnaud, try not to laugh. At least not laugh too hard as he gets an extra cheer from the Braves fans behind the dugout here in Washington. And it's again a 4-run lead heading to the home 8th as the Braves try to win their 9th straight game in this ballpark and their 12th in a row overall on the season. Jesse Chavez is the 4th Braves pitcher. Jesse's done great work of late. Strike after strike after strike from him. And here he goes again, 0-1.
Incredible job. Loves pitching for the Braves. Loves the locker room, everything about it, and has done fantastic the last couple of years for us. Nice to have him back.
Braves traded Sean Newcomb to bring Jesse back. Bad news for Sean. He was designated for assignment today by the Cubs. After a rough outing last time out against the Yankees, hope Sean lands on his feet. Talented kid. Swing and a miss. Yadiel Hernandez. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
BJ, I got to know, because it's never happened for me. What's it like running out to the field after your first major league home run? You just floating?
You floating. You're on cloud 9. Yeah. You're looking at the fans stare at you as you run out there, feeling all cool. Oh, man.
You ready for a fly ball?
You ready for this game to get over with so you can get on the phone and call mom and dad. That's what I did.
That just missed. Jesse wanted a chase. Full count. Don't walk him. Make him put it in play. Hernandez 1 for 3 tonight. Braves bullpen has done really good work again tonight. They've only given up 1 run. As this one is lined over short. He does hit his way on. Harris cuts it off. Hernandez big turnaround first, but slams on the brakes. Look at that throw with his momentum carrying him away from the second base bag. That was impressive. Leadoff single, though, starts the inning.
This guy's got some tools.
He does. From day one, catching that ball with his hand, you knew he was special. And then getting a wow look out of Andrew Jones. Wow, that tells you a lot.
Michael Franco takes strike. I think BJ is just jealous. Birdie, I don't think he ever got one of those from Andrew. Never got a wow. You never got a wow.
Oh, yes, I did.
You did?
Plenty of times. We would compete during the game. Who's going to make a great catch? But he was so much fun, man. That's why I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm with you.
Oh, my goodness. But we used to have actual competitions during the game just to see who was going to make the great play. We would move way in, see who can run the ball down over your head. Oh, man, it was fun.
Rifled toward right. Acuna retreats and makes the play. Back to first is Yadiel Hernandez. Franco is 1 for 4, and Luis Garcia comes up with 1 out.
The funniest moment with Andrew was, you remember in Houston in center field they had the hill.
Towels Hill in center.
Oh, that was the worst. But man, I want to say Biggio hit one straight away center field, and Andrew goes flying, makes an over the head catch, and he runs on that hill. It goes like face dive into the hill, and I'm sitting over in right field just cracking up, man. It was awesome.
I never understood that hill.
Me neither.
Why that was there.
It was a tribute to Crosley Field in Cincinnati, the old ballpark for the Reds. In left field, they had an elevated berm going up to the scoreboard. The reason for the berm in Cincinnati was sometimes the Ohio River would flood, and it would flood the field, so it helped keep the water out.
Chip, you are such a historian, man. This is unbelievable.
Lifted toward left. Good jump for Duvall. He's got plenty of room, and there's the out. 2 away. I love the hill. I thought it was great.
Really?
Yeah.
Not as an outfielder.
But I never had to play out there, right?
I was about to say, outfielders couldn't stand that hill.
Well, they finally took it away.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it was going to cause an injury.
Yeah, and that's probably why. It was a cool gimmick.
And I must say, I did not laugh until Andrew got up and I knew he was okay.
Yeah.
Then I laughed at him.
Here's Lane Thomas. He's had a good night. He's reached base 3 times and takes a strike. That's what makes this game so great. Unlike hockey or basketball or football, where all the fields of play are the same, every ballpark has its own different quirks and personalities, and that was certainly one of them in Houston. Same way here in Washington.
Just like your favorite art piece in Miami.
Love that thing. It's fantastic. It's tacky, just like me. 1 ball, 1 strike. Little tapper hit to the right side. Arcia fields and flips to first and got his man. Good work for Jesse Chavez as this game moves to the 9th inning.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
It has been a home run hitting barrage for the Braves, who've hit 5 of them tonight, their most since September 9th of last year, which also came against the Washington Nationals. So let's keep it up. New pitcher on for the Nats, and the most appropriately named pitcher in tonight's game, especially the way this evening began. This is Tanner Rainey. Remember, we had a rain delay of an hour and a half before first pitch. He'll face Swanson, Riley, Olson, and maybe Arcia. In the 9th inning, Braves have a 9-5 lead, 3 outs to get for a 12-game winning streak, during which the Braves have hit, by the way, 29 homers. Huge night for Swanson. Cannot say enough about the hits and the results, guys, but the timing of both of them. 2 two-out hits.
Absolute clutch.
Telling you, during this 12-game, well, hopefully 12-game win streak, that's been the big plus for us. 2-out hits, 2-out RBIs.
I really believe he is your new leader of the Atlanta Braves since Freddie has moved on. And just checks so many boxes in that area, from hard work, encouragement, and I can go on and on. Visiting the pitchers on the mound and being clutch.
High fly ball to center, but that's going to be caught by Lane Thomas. And one man is out. Austin Riley's coming up. But first, a quick message from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
With our free in-store assembly and pre-assembled grills and smokers, buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store. So keep those grilling plans at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
What I was saying about Dansby is being clutch is one of those key components of leadership.
Austin Riley facing down Tanner Rainey. Riley's been hit by a pitch twice tonight. And Rainey's a guy that Braves have hit pretty hard. For his career, Rainey is 0-3 with a 9.00 ERA. 16 runs in 16-inning career against the Braves. So a low leverage situation for him with the Nats down 4. 0-2. Again, stick around for Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. Kelly Kroll's with us tonight. She'll be working hard at the Braves locker room. Braves can win this game, have a 12-game winning streak, but I would guess, guys, this will be a muted celebration because well, you've heard of costly victories. This is one of them, potentially. Ozzie Albies fracturing his foot. Don't know how long he'll be out. But that man is an excellent leader, and he has been down this road before. Most notably with Ronald Acuna Jr. last year, who missed the second half of the season. And Riley swings and misses. 2 quick outs in the 9th inning. Matt Olson will try to pick up a hit.
It'll be interesting to see what the Braves do. Ozzie, a different type of leader on this team. Very, very good. A lot of energy, works hard, a lot of fun. And that's tough to replace. Good timing.
I'm sorry, Bertie. That's the one thing about our sport is there is no mercy. None whatsoever. The schedule is as relentless as the summer sun in Atlanta. Every day you got to grind it out. And one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. We'll find out who that man will be before game 2 here tomorrow night.
Braves picked up Kramer Robertson, former LSU standout from St. Louis, claimed him off waivers. Very good defensive infielder, specifically second baseman, grinder. Will it be him in the backup role?
Just a little outside. Love saying that. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, you got Phil Gosselin. You've got Braden Shoemake. But then you have to wonder, okay, are there 40-man roster implications? I mean, there's so much more to it than just picking up the phone and saying, hey, bring this guy up.
But you know, Alex will figure out the right moves because he always does.
Yeah. I'll take Alex to Vegas with me sometime.
2 balls, no strikes. That's popped up off to our left. Pretty much all Braves fans left here tonight. They've taken over Nats Park. There were 20,571 here. And tomorrow night will be treated to Max Fried. In the middle game of the series, the pitch. That's lifted toward left. That's curling toward the line and out of play. That young lady is going to come away with a souvenir. And if those are her daughters, they're mortified. Mom,
why are
really?
they embarrassed? Mom's the one that showed the hustle. Come on.
Mom,
Girls.
I can't believe you went and got that foul ball, Mom. Gee. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Right off his knuckles at 98 miles an hour. That was nasty.
Randy's got a good arm. You see on those sliders with downward action? Yeah, they are mortified. What's the world coming to, BJ?
I don't know. But I like Mom's attitude going after that ball.
Heck yeah. Souvenir, man. Matt hit one over there again, so the other kid gets a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the dirt, full count. Looking ahead to the Nationals' 9th. Hernandez, Soto, Cruz, and Bell. The first 4. We hope we see Bell tomorrow night and not in this game. Another payoff pitch. A little dribbler, and that's fouled off Matt's body in the batter's box. You got Will Smith and Jackson Stevens. Brian Snitker told me before the game there were a couple of guys in the bullpen that are unavailable tonight. I'm guessing Minter and Jensen would be 2 of them. Just a guess. And with a 4-run lead, it's not a save situation for the Braves tonight. Pitch is on the ground, and Olson guides one through for a 9th inning 2-out hit. Matt needed that.
Yes, he did.
Some hard work. And the Braves have double digits in hits again. 9 runs, Birdie, on 10 more hits.
Good to see Matt grind out that at bat and get a single.
I know we lost Ozzie Albies for some amount of time, but if there's any lineup that can sustain that kind of loss and really not miss a beat, it would be these guys, because they're so deep and the guys getting hot. And you see Arcia's average of 313.
So I'm sure, let me rephrase that. I'm almost certain that as soon as the news came from Ozzie Albies, Alex Anthopoulos heard from the Braves training staff, and whatever move Alex was going to make, those wheels are already in motion.
Oh, yeah. It's already done, probably.
As that's off the plate. Rainey having some 2-out trouble here. 2 balls, no strikes.
Somebody has to be on a plane early morning.
But whoever it is, it'll be a happy flight. Get to the major leagues. The pitch is low. Big picture for the Braves. Mets are idle tonight. If Atlanta wins this one, they will have gained 5.5 games on New York in a span of 12 games. So the race tightening in the National League East, as you figured it would. 3 balls, no strikes. And a 4-pitch walk as the inning continues. This is how you give up a run an inning to the Atlanta Braves. d'Arnaud coming up. Well, let's see if d'Arnaud can do a little more damage. Once again, the bottom half of the Braves order has done most of the heavy lifting. They have accounted for 8 of the 9 runs. Albies has scored 1. D'Arnaud has homered and scored. Ozuna a homer and 2 runs. Duvall a homer, 2 walks, 3 runs. Michael Harris a home run. And as we've said so many times, when this Braves offense is at its best, you're getting guys on at the bottom of the order so that the top of the order can hit with men on base. It's a simple concept, very different with the DH style offense as opposed to when the pitchers would hit in our league. And right now, that plan of attack is working perfectly.
So if I understand you correctly, you don't miss the pitcher coming up.
I miss the strategy of it. I miss
too.
having bench players in the game. I miss double switches and things like that. But watching hitters try to hit, don't miss that. 2-0. I'm a big fan of the idea that Jason Stark put out, sort of a hybridization of the new rules.
Yeah.
The double hook. You get your DH until your starting pitcher comes out of the game. There's been a lot of standing around for the Nationals on this night. And Rainey having 2-out trouble. Popped up left side and into the seats. It's 2-2. Look how gingerly Soto fielded that ball.
Cannot afford to lose Soto out of this lineup.
Our great crew in Washington tells us that Soto was messing with his knee in the outfield. No sign of that. They can ill afford to lose him.
Curious why nobody's checked on him or why he's still out there.
Right knee. Had a not very deep knee bend. This one popped up on the infield. Who wants this? Garcia and Hernandez. It'll be the shortstop, and that'll take care of the Braves in the 9th inning. 3 outs for a 12-game winning streak. It's 9-5 Braves very late in D.C. To the home 9th we go. Will Smith is on. He'll face the 2-3-4 hitters for the Nationals. Hernandez, Soto, and Cruz. Anytime Will Smith faces Juan Soto, that's entertaining. And Soto with that sore knee, we'll see what he has in store against Will with the Nats down to their last 3 outs. This is some kind of streak. Braves trying to win their 12th in a row. It'd be the 3rd time since 1994 that the Braves have had a doggone good time. And if they can get 3 more outs, they'll move to 8 games over 500 and get above 500 within the division, Paul, which is something you pointed out as being extremely important.
Yeah, there's certain milestones you hit, start to feel better. 500, one of them. The winning streak is helping. Everybody clicking.
Conversely, the Nationals entered action tonight just 5-17 against the East. So Cesar Hernandez will lead off the 9th inning, and it is not Soto on deck. He was scheduled to hit, but it's former Brave Eddie Adrianza who's going to come on.
Must not wanted to face Will Smith.
Right there, a strike. We're 11 minutes from midnight. How about if we celebrate 12 wins at the stroke of 12?
Very good, Chip. I like that.
And the gang in the studio will take you past midnight on Braves Live postgame presented by Xfinity. That's coming up next. Trevor Scales, Gordon Beckham are staying up late. For Gordon, it's way past his bedtime, by the way.
Yes, it is.
For milk and cookies, maybe some Ovaltine. Nice comfy pair of PJs, but he'll be ready to go with a great post-game wrap-up tonight. as Hernandez, 1-2 count. And Will Smith strikes him out. Boy, you can hear Will grunting all the way up here in the stratosphere with that strikeout pitch. 1 out.
That is such a giveaway that it's going to be an off-speed pitch, man. You pitchers are so deceiving.
I'm sure you hear it, Brian, but is it enough to make you react?
No, because it happens so quick.
Yeah.
Trianza.
He's not gotten a lot of playing time, just 4 games with the Nationals.
Braves legend. Another good player who I kind of wonder what would do with a little bit more time. It's tough when you've only had 15 at-bats.
He had 182 with the Braves last year, 5 homers, 28 driven in, 9 doubles. Check swing, this one deep in the hole. Arcia's got a cannon, and there's out number 2. Adam played in the shift. Arcia, Johnny on the spot, and the Braves are an out away.
Well, we definitely have a second baseman with the strongest arm in the league right now. That was a gun, BJ.
Yes, it was. And I'll tell you, when he was with Milwaukee, I thought he was probably the better infielder that they had.
So 1 more man to get. It's Nelson Cruz, who's had a nice night. 2 hits, an RBI. And that's up and away from Will. 1 ball, no strikes. Max Fried gets the ball tomorrow night. The Braves, with 1 more out, will be only 5 games off the division leading pace. Ground ball third. Riley scoops, settles, flips, hits a 12-gamer. The Braves blast 5 home runs. The Atlanta bullpen gives up 1 run over the final 5 innings. And Atlanta now 8 games over 500, gentlemen, with a 12-game win streak.
Guys, we've been talking about it all night. The back end of the lineup, once again, gets it done. You look at Ozuna, Duvall, and Michael Harris II scored 6 runs between them, 3 home runs. That's production, and that's exactly what the Braves need out of this back end of the lineup.
Michael Harris, an unforgettable night, his first big league homer, Paul, and Dylan Lee, how about that? He gets the win in relief.
Yeah, he was key for me. 2 1/3, only gave up 1 run on a night where Ian Anderson needed some relief. The bullpen came through. Overall, a complete win.
Rain was the story early, and the Braves rained down the homers. They hit 5 of them. It's 12-game win streak. They'll try to stretch it to 13 tomorrow night behind Max Fried. Hope you enjoyed our broadcast. Thanks for staying up late with us. For Kelly, for Paul, for BJ, Chip Carey, stick around. Braves Live, presented by Xfinity's coming right up.